Sup nerds, welcome to episode 14 of the Omni4Game podcast. I'm Sean, and as always, I'm joined with Chris and Brandon.
Alright guys, this week's Omni4Game recap. We have our usual local recap. We have a little Josh story that we like to tell. We review this year, 2023, and how good Bandai did. We discuss how to deal with tilt, or how not to deal with tilt. We discuss security control and how to play that matchup, give you some tips on maybe how to, go into that matchup a little better. And then we finish off with the questions. So again, if you guys have any questions you'd like us to talk about, put them in those comments and we'll talk about them. And also, as always, stick around. We'll see you next time.
All right, so locals recap. I call dibs on last.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll start off just because I want to explain what we did. Shout out to Ben because we had way less people than normal. Because of holidays and stuff comes up this time of year. We only had 5 people. So this time around, we decided to do a round robin style tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you don't know what that is, go watch English football. First of all,
I didn't apparently. I confused it with something else.
So essentially, it means everybody plays against everybody. You always play against every single person. So all 5 of us played against each other once. And then whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Everyone also got a bye.
Everybody had to get a bye because it was an uneven number. So, breaking down mine, I got the bye to start with. Feels bad. And then I beat Caleb 2-0. I was running Red Hybrid. We all kind of brought some different decks this week.
I think that was the best part.
Yeah, it was very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like
everyone had a different deck. It was nice.
Yeah, everybody was like playing a different deck. It was great. So Caleb was playing Jessmon to start the night. I think it was by round 3 he threw Jessmon away and switched to a different deck, which we allowed it.
He has to borrow my Machine Dramon.
Yeah.
And apparently that happened when I wasn't paying attention because when he hatched when I played him and it was a Dorimon.
It was Doru.
I was like, am I crazy or were you not playing Jessmon? He was like, I asked, and I was like, I mean, I don't really care, but I thought you were playing Jessmon.
Yeah, I knew you had a really good matchup going into it, so I was like,
actually, Machine Dramon's not a good matchup for my deck because it de-evos. De-evo is the bad matchup for my deck.
Well, yeah, but when you de-evo them, you're killing them.
Yeah, you're a smart player. You're gonna de-evo him after he's Machine Dramon.
I mean, ideally, yes.
Yeah, so we ended up getting Caleb pretty mercilessly with Red Hybrid because Red Hybrid do Red Hybrid things, and Jessmon is oops all Sistermons.
Yeah, Jessmon do Jessmon things like brick.
Like brick.
Fortunately, Caleb went 1-4 on the night. His only win was the bye.
Yeah,
poor guy.
So, unfortunate, not the best showing for Caleb.
He was distraught.
The third round, I played against Sean, which it was a pretty close game, 1 and 2, but then game 3, not so much. He womboed me with his deck, which I'll let him talk about it. Turn 2, so that was fun.
That's right.
I love that deck though, so I love seeing it pop off.
You had the optimal opening all 3 games versus me.
All 3 games. So if you don't know what the optimal opening for Red Hybrid is, it's BT7 Flamon.
No, it's not. Guess what? There's gonna be a comment down below. It's not. But go ahead.
Actually,
yeah. Hey, listen. Actually, on the store championship video that I won, I had a comment that said I was the smartest Red Hybrid player. So,
hold on.
They said that they've seen. Maybe you're the only Red Hybrid player they've ever seen.
Hold on, Brandon. Is that how they do it in Japan's meta?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Just have to make sure.
Is that how the Japanese players
optimal, do? Yeah, optimal is BT7 Flamon with BT12 Agunimon with a Tamer and a Flamon in hand. So you essentially can promote swing security. You're usually going to die.
You always died to the check.
Yeah, you always died. I always hit like a level 5. It was great. So I died all 3 games. And you get to play the Takuya first. Or if you don't have the Takuya, play the Flamon first to search for the Takuya. And then you get to draw off your Yoko. I saw some people swapping it out for Koromon. You're dumb. I hate it. Because Koromon, it's a limited resource. You're only drawing if you hit security. If your opponent's playing blockers, which a lot of this format is, Commandramon, Lugamon has access to blocker, and you don't get through to security, like, you're not drawing.
Yeah.
So, Yoko's better. Because, like, otherwise it's just a waste of a baby if they block your attack. Anyway.
I can see arguments for both. But yeah, you played a memory setting tamer and a body.
Every single game.
Every single game.
It was great.
On your second turn.
And of course, the body, all of them search. So I'm getting free resources in hand. And if it's the BT12 Flamon, you're getting resources in trash as well for your Warp Evo Takuya. So love that. Optimal. After that, I played against Chris. I did beat Chris. I believe it was 2-1. I'd say it was pretty even. Because game 1, I think I opened up just really, really fast, and I was able to kill him super, super easily. Game 2, the exact opposite happened, where he had like 5 bodies on board. And then I didn't put Crimson Blaze in for some reason. I don't know. It's still basically the old list. The only difference is swap the Solar Mons for Gatsumons. So, I should put Crimson Blaze in, though. That is definitely a change you should make. Yeah, he swarmed the board really fast and then had the Rush Numamon in hand. So, lost that one. And then game 3, I just don't think he was able to build to a level 6 before I was able to kill him. Because that's basically the win con for your deck, is build to your level 6, spam your board.
Yeah.
And then the final round was against Ben. I did 2-0 Ben pretty viciously. Like, he bricked pretty hard game 1 and game 2.
Your game was over in like 3 to 5 minutes. It was crazy.
5 minutes.
Yeah, your match was over very quickly.
He was playing Beelzemon, and Beelzemon can be very high rolly, but if you don't open well enough, it's just like stalling the engine.
If you don't see Ion Mako super quick.
Yeah. So being able to kill him like turn 3, turn 4, just by dropping like a couple Tamers with optimal opening, followed by Burning Greymon with a couple Atomic Infernos, and yeah, you're just kosher. So, those are mine. I ended up getting second place. It was pretty good. Round robin tournaments were very fun. If you don't have a whole lot of people at your locals, try it out.
Yeah.
The best part was everyone had a different deck. That was like...
Yeah, it was so diverse.
Yeah. Diverse meta.
So I guess I'll go next. I played Commandramon. It wasn't a very updated list. I would definitely make changes to it. I wasn't playing any of the 4-cost option. I threw together the deck like the first night of the release. So it's just like the core stuff minus
Just
that. So
there.
yeah, I just threw it, and then I played it tonight. So that tends to happen a lot with me. So I definitely make changes to it. Round 1, I played against Sean, and he's playing Alter B.
Alter S.
Alter S. Well, there's an Alter B too, right?
There's one
But it's
Alter
like
B. The deck is Alter S.
The main one is Alter S, yeah. So he's playing Alter S. If I remember correctly, like, it was semi-competitive. The problem was every time you went into Kreskarumon and you bottom decked all my little Digimon, like,
Literally
that was like...
Feels bad.
I didn't even remember what that card did. Like when it evoed. That was the first time it's ever come up, but I did it I think 2 times to you, where I bought deck 2 of your Commandramons.
Yeah, that really hurt, and then him being able to D-Digivolve the Brigadramon really hurts too, so that matchup was a little tough, especially... I knew game 1, literally game 1, when I swung with my Commandramon, and I hit the Tamer out of your security, I was like, I've lost this game. I've lost this game. It's stuff like that in Digimon games, where if you know the opponent's deck, and you know, like when you've lost...
You're about to get popped on.
Like, it happens later in mine and Brandon's game. So, round 2, I believe I played against Ben.
You had to buy.
Oh, I had to buy. You're right. Buy. And then I played... Yeah, I played Ben round 3. He's playing Beelzemon. Again, I still think a very good deck. Like,
still a very strong deck.
He can high roll like crazy, because I literally swarmed the board, and at one point had like 8 bodies on the board. and he was still able to pop off and like just and through like Brigademon's like protection, just like killed it.
Yep.
Like no problems. And then I did misplay game 2 because he plays the random Beelstar.
The starter deck Beelstar.
Yeah, boob star mon.
Under boob.
So yeah.
Weird
And
anime angle mon.
it was one of those instances where it's like it's a card I've hardly ever seen before, and he had it on board, and he had 2 cards in deck, and I had 2 attacks on board. So all I had to do was go swim. And my priority, because I didn't realize that was that card's effect, was I was going to establish Brigadramon again, and then try and just put up blockers, and hopefully just he'll draw a deck out that way. He ended up killing me the following turn, of course, because he's able to get through my Brigadramon's multiple protections and everything. And so he was like, "You just had game," and I'm like, "What? How?" He's like, "You had 2 swings. Every time you attack, you would have milled a card, and I'd have had to play an Impmon."
Yeah, he had like 2 cards left in deck when it was your turn.
So you could have just swung past.
Yeah,
you could have just swung once,
passed.
and it would have milled him.
Yeah, so that was awesome. I still think a very good deck, but like Brandon said, like it's still high rolly. Like he's still got to see the pieces. And then round 4 was against Brandon's Red Hybrid. If he just opened up well enough, he could just outspeed me. There were like little things where it's like unfortunate stuff where I think I would have had control of game 3 maybe, where I Digivolve into the Raising into a level 4 and then draw the level
top deck to 5.
and then top deck to level 5 because
and
again
he has a 3 on the board.
Yeah, being an experienced player is knowing like your ratios of your deck, and I had already seen 3 to 4 level 5s in my trash from just him attacking my security. So I'm thinking, okay, let me build in the Raising area. Maybe I'll draw the level 5 to go down there, draw level 5. So
if you could have evoed it on top of the field, you could have hit Brigadramon that turn.
Yeah, I could have gone into Brigadramon that turn, put you to like 2 memory because I had the defense training, and then
I had a memory setter, so it wouldn't have hugely mattered.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. And then expanded my board and had multiple bodies with Brigadramon and Blocker, but unfortunate things happen. I ended up like was that the game where I was like, to hell with it, and just hard played Brigadramon for 10.
Yeah, and I killed you that turn.
Yeah, he just killed me the following turn. I mean,
he thought he was safe because he had a bunch of bodies on board, but none of them were blockers.
I was safe. I knew I wasn't safe.
Well,
Brand's projecting. He always does that.
Yeah.
This is the interaction I was talking about. I scooped with 5 security, and I saw Brandon's board, and Ben was like, "Why are you scooping?" And Brandon literally pulled out the Emperor, and he had double Atomic Inferno. And the thing is,
Gravity Crush.
Yeah, he had 2 Emperors on there. He had 1 Emperor on the board and another level 3, and then 1 coming out of Raising. So right there, that's 5 swings. And a Tamer in the back. And I know I don't play any defense options. So I know all these attacks are going through, and then Brandon wants to try and style on me. He goes into a second Emperor and then drops multiple Atomic Infernos. At that point, I've already picked up all my cards. I've picked up all my cards.
Okay, so
I picked them all up.
Because he gave me so much memory, and I had to out the Brigadramon to get through all his blockers, because if he didn't have Brigadramon on the field, nothing has blocker anymore. So what I did is I hard played Takuya, tucked 5 under him to evo into the Emperor Greymon just to pop the Brigadramon.
Yep.
So I had to spend 6 memory just to go into my level 6. I couldn't even attack that turn because I had to hard play the Tamer. And then I went into triple Atomic Inferno, swing with Emperor with Aldemon underneath it, so no option cards check, and he's bigger than bejesus.
Ben's like, "Why are you scooping? You got a chance?" I said, "Ben, no, I don't."
No, it's over.
No, I don't.
Ben wanted to watch the Wombos.
Yes, Brandon's doing all this. I'm picking up my cards. Yeah, he's doing everything. I'm just picking them all up because I already know.
Digimon, he knew.
Yeah. So, and then I played Caleb round 5. At that match was kind of just for fun because we're playing for like last place and second to last place.
Yep.
So he's playing the Machine Dramon, and then Sean gave me his blue hybrid to play because my list again I haven't updated it with like merciful modes, which you definitely have to play just for certain matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up beating him 2-1 or 2-0? Did he beat
2-1.
me?
2-1.
We somehow fumbled game 2, dude. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
Yeah, game
fumbled
2
that.
was just even with Zudamon, man. Just do it.
Yeah, I still don't think it would have changed. Anyways,
If you had a second Zudamon in your hand, he would not have won that
100%.
game.
100%.
He
He
just
would've
walked
punted.
face first
He
into
walked
it.
right into it.
Again.
So yeah, that was pretty funny. Ended up beating him. The merciful mode came in did work round 1 or game 1 against him. Bottom decked all. He had exactly 8 level 5s in trash and then 2 analog man. So I bottom decked all 10 of those, and then he had nothing to play the machine Dramon with. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So Caleb did not get his anime moment. Unfortunately, he went completely winless last night. Poor guy.
He had a win versus the bye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
His son of a gun didn't show up. He never does.
Son of a gun. All right,
Sorry, Sean.
so
Billy Sean.
I went 5-0 and just wiped the floor with everyone. They're all scrubs. I was playing Alter S.
Right hand up. It's true.
Yeah.
I
This deck
can't
is
help when he establishes Alter S turn 2.
yeah. This deck is still very good. People still sleep on it because they think it's a meme. This deck is very, very good. Round
It's
1.
literally the definition. If someone's like, "What's a combo deck in Digimon?" You slap down that deck. It is the definition of a combo deck. If you see your pieces, your exact
You're
pieces,
golden.
you just good.
Sometimes
It's
even if
awesome.
you
It's
don't have them, if
hilarious.
you draw into them while you're comboing, because that happened to me multiple
Well,
times.
I
He
was just
literally
like,
ripped a level 5 on me and went, "Oh, okay, cool."
I like
And
telling
then
people when
Alter S returns
I like
it.
telling people when I top deck the combo pieces as I'm going into it, so I can alter S. I'm like, I top decked on that.
I'm with Sean when earlier when he's like, I didn't even remember what Kresgarumon's effect was. I was like, I didn't either. Like, I didn't
Should've used
know.
Alter S.
I just thought you just used it to go into your Alter S. Like, I didn't know what the rest of it does.
Like I remembered that Blitz de-evoed, but I didn't remember exactly what it did. But Cress, I just straight up have never used that effect.
Yeah.
So anytime I'd have multiple Commandromons on the board with blocker, he's just like bottom deck those.
Yeah,
And I'm
bottom
like,
deck those two
okay.
guys. Those two guys float,
That's
huh?
fine.
Not anymore. Put them on the
No,
bottom of your
no.
deck.
Yeah.
So I played Chris round 1, 2-0 Brigadramon. Because Chris wasn't playing any DCD bombs, and that's basically the only
Only
good removal versus Alter S is de-evoing it because it can't protect itself.
Yep.
I was trying to play around it the whole match, but then I found out after the fact that he wasn't playing it, and I was like, oh, okay, I could have just been brainlessly going into Alter S
burr.
and just being like, LOL, you don't have no outs to this.
I go burr.
Yeah. Round 2, I played against
Ben.
Ben.
Yeah, I have it pulled up right here. So
I won.
I had to make all the pairings and stuff manually. So
I won I won game 1. He won game 2, and then I won game 3. It's a pretty good matchup as long as you see your pieces, because he never he had Rivals Barrages galore in his hand, but he never wanted to use them because it just poops out 2 megas.
yeah.
And if I have another Alter S in my hand.
I was literally sitting next to him that match, and I look over at his hand. It was nothing but the removal options. He had Rivals, he had 7 full cluster. All of them were just in his hand.
Yeah, and I just have a face up. I have an Alter S on the field, but he doesn't want to do it because it just poops out 2 more dudes. And if I have another Alter S,
it passes turn.
It passes turn and it puts out 2 megas. Or if I swing 2 safe checks and Evo into Alter S, a second
It's
Alter
just
S in my
game.
hand, and if I have Alter B, it's just game. He that happened a couple formats ago when I had Alter S on the field, swung into security, checked a Rivals. It
Pooped out 2 dudes.
and I trashed 1 and checked 1, so he has 3 security. I Evo and Alter S again, then Evo and Alter B and swing for game.
They just reveal Alter B.
Yeah.
I love that deck.
Is that the best black deck? And are we gonna even consider it a black deck because it just has
That's an
Agumon?
Omnimon deck.
It's Agumon
Yeah.
and Gabumon in it. So is it a black deck? It has blacks.
Omnimon deck.
It has black's 2 best keywords in Reboot and Blocker, and you just get it in 1 stack, and that's always good for it with black. The best black
But
cards
I
are
think that
Reboot and
makes it accurate.
Blockers.
the things that make it even better, like over the top, is the built-in protection.
Mhm.
Even though it's not true protection, it's basically protection.
Yeah,
it's recovery, which is insane.
Yeah, it makes people not want to do what they probably should do, which is remove it, because you only have 4 Alter S's. So, like,
Yeah.
I think he should have probably been using his rivals and forced me to, like, play around it, but...
Force you to have it.
Yeah, force me to have another Alter S, because I don't always have a second Alter S in my hand.
It's not guaranteed.
You're telling me all we need to do to make black good is to give it the 2 main Pro Tag Digimon and then the main one Omnimon? I mean, it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and make it super combo.
Yep.
Like, what I was trying to do in my matchup against Sean, which I never got to do, it just never lined up right, is I was trying to play Gatsumon and then out it with my Emperor Greymon, but it just never came up, because that's one of the only true ways to out the Alter S with my deck.
Because it's considered playing them out, so they wouldn't be able to play out.
Yeah. Alter S would still recover itself, but yeah, I couldn't play 2 free bodies.
Which, I don't care about a 15 body insecurity, so what do I care?
Yeah. I played Brandon round 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Brandon round 3. He won game 1. And then game 2 was relatively close, and I got
it. It was a grind.
And then game 3, I comboed into Alter S on my second turn. And
then by turn 4, you had a second one.
Yeah. Like 2 turns later, I had a second one. And if he didn't out both of them...
That one was bad. You thought one was bad.
And he had 1 security left. And if he couldn't out both of them, he just lost on his next turn because he doesn't play defense, and I just swing trash the last card in game.
I was 1 card away from being able to steal the game, but the problem is that 1 card was in security and was already checked. So
yeah, he was missing a second Grav Crush to be able to Gatsumon Emperor me.
Yeah, I was going to Gatsu Emperor and then Atomic Inferno the Emperor as well. Which would have made it to where if he would have blocked, I'd gain extra memory. If he didn't block it, extra memory. It was a whole thing. But
imagine if Gravity Crush was printed now. It would activate out of security and then add it to your hand.
I feel like it would just go to your
memory,
hand.
add to hand.
I feel like it would
gain 2 memory.
I feel like it would just go to your hand, if anything.
That would be a hard 4-up if it did that.
Sean, look what they do with Ice Wall. Look at that card. You're gonna tell me they printed 4 of that.
It doesn't go to hand though.
No, but think about it though. Think about it. They printed cards like Ice Wall.
I mean, I think
it clearly don't think about it.
It would be nutty.
The way that it worked, I think it would go to hand, and I think that would be very good. I would play 4 of that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Round 4, I played against a surprise Machine Dramon matchup. I was expecting it to be basically free, because Jesmon's like, I'm like, Jesmon's whatever. I'm gonna see my combo before you see yours, dude. Like, for sure. But
I'll just bot deck your Sistermons, bro.
Yeah, but instead it's Machine Dramon, which is actually a pretty good matchup in Alter S because they de-evo you, and that's the best thing to do versus Alter S. So Caleb actually won game 1. I tried to combo multiple times, but just kept whiffing on pieces. I ended up having like 4 or 5 dudes on the field.
None of them are doing anything.
Yeah, just not doing anything. They kept getting like popped and de-evoed by his stack. But then games 2 and 3, I saw my combo, and game 3, Caleb actually just bricked out of his mind. He got to the point where he was setting me to like 9 and 10 memory, hard playing his megas that did not gain memory back. So yeah, the game 3 was basically free because he just bricked after mulliganing. We take those though. And then round 5 I had a bye, so I went 5-0. Losers. Alter S best deck.
Bring it next week. Let's do
it. Need a deck profile. When's it going up?
It's literally it's card for card the same
it's
list.
Already there.
Take that one down. Re-upload it.
Just re-upload it and just change the title. It's like BT14 Alter S deck profile, new and improved.
New and improved. No.
Did it have the altar Air of Dragons in that video?
Yeah, I've had those for a while.
It was always full max rarity.
I actually, when I recorded the deck profile, it didn't have. I think I was missing like 1 Alter S and like 3 of my Cresses because they hadn't come in yet.
Oh, there's your reason to re-record it.
re-upload.
Technically, it's not the same physical cards, but it is card for card the same exact deck list because
Same deck.
we haven't gotten anything that made me want to change out any cards, and obviously it still works because I just curb stomped all of you.
Yeah. God, dude, game 3 was so close.
I mean, you say that, but it was only close if you had a specific card in your hand.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just lost, which is what happened.
I mean, if you just didn't combo on me turn 2,
If I didn't just put 2 Alteresses on the field by turn 4.
If he didn't just play his deck.
If I didn't show up, dude, it would have been so close. You would have won. If I just got up and went to the bathroom and said, "You got this, Brandon," you definitely would.
Yeah, he would have had it. So
I was trying to play around it so much too, because I know that deck. I play that deck, so I was constantly like, "Oh, you have 1 body in the raising, and no tamer. All right, 2 memory, 1 memory. Never giving you 3."
So way to do it if they don't have the tamer.
Yeah.
So real quick before we get to our topics, I'm gonna introduce a new little segment called Josh's Funny Stories. So, he reminded me of this. He really wants me to bring this up so bad. He reminded me of this time where we were playing a pre-release tournament, and I get paired up against this kid. He's like maybe 13, 14, like young. His parents gotta bring him, drop him off.
We'd never seen him before.
Never. Yeah. This is I think this may be in like his second time.
It was like his second time.
Yeah.
He's only shown up to pre-releases at that point.
This was BT8 pre-release, right?
Yes. I can't remember exactly. It was around the time the green Izzy starter deck had come out.
I think it was BT8 because I'm pretty sure it was an Ultimate Flare situation game 1.
It was Ultimate Flare. Yeah. I got Ultimate Flared out of secure. Okay, so anyways, I get paired up against this kid. Okay, and as you all know, I hate pre-releases, so I'm already like, I don't even want to play this. So, game 1, and my whole idea most of the time in pre-releases is Unga Boonga. I'm gonna play a bunch of level 3s, and I'm just gonna try and kill you real quick.
Mm-hmm. It's a valid strategy.
I do that. I have multiple level 3s on the board. First swing, Ultimate Flare out of his security. Killed my whole board. He followed up by killing me, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. Game 2... I'm so flustered. I'm just like,
spaghetti.
I just want to open up my boxes. I just want to build the decks. Play these new cards. I shuffle, give him my deck. He cuts. I draw my 5 cards. Hatch, Digivolve, draw. And I'm like 2 turns in, or maybe a turn in. I can't remember how far into the game we got.
I was sitting next to you for this.
Yeah, it was only like a turn in, and I look over, and I have no security.
I think I said, "Where's your security?"
Maybe. It was so funny. I literally pick up my cards. I go, "Hey, man." I told this kid, "Hey, you can just have it, man. You're good. You can have it." And then this kid picked up all his stuff, ran up front. I'm talking about ran up front. Asked the guy who used to run our tournaments, Andrew. He goes, "I just won 2-0. Where do I go to report and drop?" This kid 2-0'd me, ran up front, reported the win, dropped, and we haven't ever seen him since.
Nope. That was BT8.
Yeah.
Never again did we ever see that kid after that.
Your match was over in 5 minutes.
I've got so many funny stories at this store. Armageddon, Rusty, and then this kid. There's just so much going on. So Josh really just wanted me to bring up that story, and he's really upset and dejected right now because none of the comments wanted him to do the intro. So.
Oh yeah, I just realized no one said anything about that. Man.
Yeah, no one said. But they were way too interested in the ban list discussion.
They were hyper focused.
And how they don't actually listen to the podcast and understand that we do follow Japan's meta. Just none of us care because guess what, guys?
We're not in Japan.
When has Japan's meta ever affected our meta? Because we have such a different meta because we as players look to that and go, okay, how do we change that? Oh, they gave us a ban list. Oh, guess what? We're definitely not going to have the Pokemon meta because guess what?
Yep.
They hit it. Oh, guess what we had? We had Tommy. We had Savior at 3. They are at 4. They didn't have that. Like,
It's
guys,
almost always different.
we pay attention. We pay attention to Japan's meta.
Like, the best
Just
example.
listen.
The best example is BT10, because BT10 was dominated in Japan by Cross. We got Cross 4.
It was Cross and Yellow Hybrid.
Yeah,
those are the two decks.
Yellow Hybrid and Cross both got hit, and I was eaten every week. Garu eaten. So
don't say we don't pay attention to the meta because you don't listen to the podcast every episode. Trust me, we listen to it. We're just surprised that they had the balls to hit the secret out of the set. And I don't want to. I read some of those comments, and some people are saying, "Oh, that set's not dead." That set is 100% dead because everyone was going to invest in that set
because it had a tier 0 deck.
For a Pokemon, it was a tier 0 deck. When there is a tier 0 deck, more people invest in that set because they want to play the tier 0 deck. Now the tier 0 deck is dead. Guess what people aren't going to do? Invest in it.
Yeah,
so
that nuked Bandai's sales for that set. Like
they will. People will buy the set, but not to the point to where they would have. There's a difference.
It'll actually inflate the prices of all the supers because people will not be cracking it like they would have been.
They're not going to be opening it.
Exactly.
You're going to pull your Altar Apocalypse and go, oh, okay, this is useless.
Yes, because guess what? You can only play one. So good thing you only pulled one.
Oh, you pulled the super special, ultra awesome retro card? Yeah, too bad. You have one. That's it.
You can't play that deck now, right? That deck is dead on arrival.
No,
DOA.
There's no way to recycle your Pokemon. I don't think. Besides,
it's dead.
I think Junomon is like the only card that lets you pick it back up out of trash because it's white.
Yeah.
And then another thing, everyone's saying that we don't pay attention to Japan's meta because of Garu and how it was dominating over there. Yes, okay, we know Garu's dominating over there, but that doesn't mean Brandon can't question why they did it, okay? Because he's an upsetty spaghetti boy.
Yeah. I'm so mad they hit Gray X.
And neither one of you, none of us, okay, Balmon, that's the last time we're going to say his name, okay? Because that guy said, just quit it with it, okay? He's sick and tired of hearing about it from us, okay? Damn it!
I believe I responded to him and said, I will die with hatred for Balmont still in my heart.
Whoa. Can we get a Balmont counter down in the right corner, Sean, when you edit this? That's 4. That's 4 so far.
Just pops up with a little thing you edited over him.
Yeah, he heard me mention it that first time. He clicked off. He disliked the video and he clicked off. I'm done.
Dislike, unsub.
Yep.
Block.
So checks a week later, he's back.
So we can go to the topics now. We just had to get that off our chest, right?
Yeah.
We're not good enough players. We don't pay attention to other metas.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely don't sit here and theory craft like decks sets from now.
I actually don't do that. I try not to pay attention to future cards.
I also don't because I don't want to bother thinking about that because I'd rather focus on the current.
Trying to stay in the now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when we know they hit stuff before we get it. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't touch Leviamon.
I had to delete so many deck profiles. I had to delete so many.
All the ones where you're playing 4 Gabu X's and 4 Garu X's.
Yeah.
Especially the old ones where you had like 4 of all the other Gabus that got hit.
Do what?
The old, like even old ones where you had like 4 of the other Gabus that got hit.
Oh yeah, the BT2 and the starter deck 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, feels bad. The purple variant for EX5, what I'm doing, this is just personal to me, I'm running 1 of each of those, because again, they're limited to 1. 4 of the Gabu X, 4 of the starter deck 16, and I'm running 2 of the BT4 vanilla. Ben was questioning it, like, why not just play like Gatsu or Psychmon or something like that? I think is it Gatsu? Whatever. Just running a floodgate.
Gazimon is what he was talking about.
Gazi.
Yeah, Gazi, that's what it is. And my counter was, that's not a Gabumon.
It's not, but you have not seen Anubis Minerva pop off or Merva pop off.
You haven't seen me pop off with these Gabumons. They pop off so bad, they have to take them behind the shed.
When you see Anubis Merva combo, you will understand why that card
Oh, it's
got
totally
hit, even though it's a
degen.
super.
I've heard
Okay,
of
but-
the combo. I just haven't seen it in action.
Mel's gonna be the only one that tries to build that, and then not only that,
Ben will probably end up playing it. It's a purple deck.
yeah. Ben will try and play that. No, Ben,
the
listen,
hat off.
okay.
Take the hat off.
can't-
I was literally testing against it on the sim with him.
How long does one game take?
It
Depends
doesn't.
on how early he pops off.
Yeah, it
Ben is very methodical. He will take his time making every move, and if it's anything like Lilith Loop, you will play one game.
well, the thing is once that deck combos, you're dead.
You're dead. Yeah.
Like it's
Okay.
that's not like I'm gonna combo and just like nothing happens. It's like I'm gonna combo and you
Right.
probably lose now.
Well, does purple
Okay.
have the floodgate that stops you from playing cards through effects?
No,
Okay,
Not yet.
So what am I supposed to do? Play a different colored floodgate?
I was playing
I
Ruin
guess.
Mode Turbo versus him, and it seemed to have a decent matchup.
I mean, I can still
Don't-
play merciful mode.
Just don't let him play the game. That's the secret. Duh.
Yeah, I'll just play merciful mode.
Oh, you
Fuck
do
that
unfair
card
stuff? I'm gonna make it where you can't play.
Okay, so which topic
you
y'all
with
want to
ice
go
ball.
into
I'm
first?
I want to do Brandon's. I like Brandon's.
Brandon's?
So mine is we're
Lame.
getting to the end of the year. The year is almost over, so I wanted to go through how this year went for this card game. So we're going to go through all the sets that released, all the ban list changes, all the product that released. I mean, except for the gift boxes. Nobody cares about that, right?
Bandai
Not really.
releasing what, 2 other card games?
Well, I think only one, right?
But they just
No, they-
announced the second one that's coming
One.
out next year.
One Piece, and
I
then
thought Battle
Oh.
Spirits wasn't actually Bandai's.
No, it's Bandai's.
Oh, it is Bandai's?
Yes,
Oh.
it's one of their card games.
Yeah, I thought so, because I saw like Gundams and stuff on it. I know Bandai's. Yeah.
It's theirs.
But anyway, so I have the list pulled up right here. I have everything that was released this year in the 3 different ban lists that took place during this year. So this current ban list that we just got announced, not a part of this because it's not effective until March. Then, of course, the Ulti Cup rules, big in-person tournaments, stuff like that. And we're just going to kind of talk about how we think Bandai did this year.
Giving them a
So-
grade.
Paramount X is still banned, or still limited.
Yeah.
Jet's
For
still
real?
limited.
Yeah, -10. Do better.
Facts.
Sean, is that glue?
Is that a glue stick?
It is a glue stick.
Yeah.
It
All
helps.
right, so the
it helps
first-
seal in the moisture on your lips.
So the first thing that came out this year was BT11 in February. So what do we think about BT11?
Yo, I loved BT11. BT11 was lit. We got all the Greymon stuff, Black War Greymon stuff.
Was that OG Black War Greymon? Was that set?
No, that's Black War
No, not
X
OG.
and Greymon X
Yeah.
Okay.
and Metal Greymon X.
All Force, Avian, Bird deck.
That's not a deck.
That's not a deck.
Bird, not deck.
All Force was probably the next best thing that came out of that set. I mean, wasn't there also like Machine Dramon support in that set?
Yeah, that had Machine Dramon support. It had Analog Man in it, and the
Yeah, it was the Analog set, so yeah.
Yeah,
So it made Machine Dramon a viable deck. All Force.
not quite. We didn't get Chaos X until BT12.
Yeah, Chaos wasn't.
Oh yeah, fair. It made All Force a viable deck.
Mhm.
Um,
For the first time in like
yeah,
7 sets or something.
That's
Yeah,
not
like
the set with
BT2,
Rena in it,
BT3.
is it?
It is.
yeah. It's the secret rare arena.
It was
Okay,
Galactic
so yeah.
Mon.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You got some Gaomon support or
Yeah.
Gumon. Because that's the set with Nikolai. So you got his line in there, which is the good Mirage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is
So-
that the set? That was the set with Mirage, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was actually a very good set.
Mhm.
I think a little underrated.
What were the secrets? Rena?
Rena
Galactic
and
Mon.
Galactimon.
I just said that.
Okay. Oh, did you? Okay.
Which Galactimon? Sorry if you pulled it. It was like the worst secret to pull because like
Yeah,
Rena still sits
everyone-
at like $60.
Everyone at our locals was looking for Rena.
Yeah,
Everyone.
we barely managed to get a playset.
Tell me, have you seen her? Yeah, it's like that one time Brandon let Caleb borrow the 4 arenas, and then he stomped both of us.
Yeah. Feels bad. Yeah, so no, I think BT11, very good. That was the set that sparked the most controversy I've ever seen in that Facebook group, because you damn dirty people decided, hey, we don't like having commons and uncommons as foils, and I haven't forgiven you for it.
I forgot that was the set where we got hollow
If they'd have
commons.
gone about it a little better, like, oh, it didn't take up a rare slot or something like that, cool. But hear me out. I want foil cards.
Same.
I want shiny cardboard.
I wish they did that with every set.
I thought it was because they sexualized Rena and she's like 13 years old. But okay.
No, it's because I want shiny cardboard.
Sean, you haven't seen the thirst traps of Rena? Okay.
Oh, it's bad.
I don't think I go on that part of the internet.
Well, some people just
It's
post it on
bad.
the Facebook page.
Some weirdos
And
out there.
the admins are just like, I guess this is okay. Weird. So the next thing that came out product-wise was actually very ground-shaking. That was the Beelzemon Advanced deck in March.
No.
Which-
No, that was after BT12,
Mad.
wasn't it? Or was it
Mad.
before?
No, because BT12 is actually not even on my list. How the heck did that get
Because
skipped?
I thought we
Oh
had
my
Beel's X
goodness.
first and then got the starter deck, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Hold on, let me look this up.
Because you had to play the old school Beelzemon, like the Warp one, and then the one other one, right? The Meal 2 one?
Yeah, because people were, I think, because Spencer had built Beel's before we got full power.
I had messed around with it too, because we also had that, the OG Blast mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so April of 2023 is what I'm getting right here for English. It was the 28th of April.
What was?
BT12.
BT12.
When was the starter deck?
March.
Hmm.
No, okay, I see what I did. I'm just an idiot. I wrote down BT13. It should be BT12.
Okay.
That was just a mistypo on my part. But yeah, no, I guess the Beelzemon starter deck came out first.
Huh. Okay.
You
Maybe
know
it's
what? That makes
because-
sense, because that's the good Beelzemon, the one that when you Digivolve you mill 2.
No, that's
That's that
that's
one.
EX2. Beel's is what
Is
you're
it
thinking
EX?
Yeah, it's EX2.
of. Well, the starter deck one also mills when you Evo into it, but it mills 4, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that set was really
yeah,
good. That set had Raid War Gray, the best War Greymon we've ever gotten in the
Yep.
card game.
Yep.
Yep.
One of my
Um,
favorite sets, yeah.
Well, I mean, we haven't even got there yet. We're still talking about Beelzemon.
Oh, my bad. You're right. The starter deck came out first.
Beelzemon's whatever. It's still a good deck. It mills your deck and it kills you, okay? Ooh.
Yeah.
Iron
I
Mako
liked
was
it
a
because it
mistake.
came with nice reprints.
Iron Mako is
Iron
definitely
Mako.
the best card in that deck by a landslide.
I don't know. There was a comment that disagreed with you.
I mean, they're entitled
Care
to
to
their
explain?
opinion.
Care to explain?
Uh,
Sir? Oh,
Iron
you're over here
Mako
'cause it's
is the consistency fixer of consistency fixers for that deck. It's a searcher. It's a memory gain. It allows you to top deck cards that you would like to mill. It is
Oh,
by
that's a nice Wizardmon you have in your hand.
is
Plus
by
one memory?
by far the best card in that deck. Anytime I ever played against that deck and I was playing something with Tamer removal, my number one goal was to get those off the field immediately. Because the longer the more turns they stayed on the field, the worse it got. And like you only have so many turns once one or two of them hits the field.
Yep.
Sean, hear me out. If that was printed nowadays, they would get to play it out after you've just deleted it.
Yep.
You know,
Purple cards.
I was
Just like AG. Just like AG. Think about it.
my instinct was to disagree with you because it's not like it's even a year old, but the way that purple is being supported now, I think you're probably right with how crazy they've gotten with their support. Someone at
Think about
Bandai
it.
needs to chill out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think they're eventually gonna make. I don't know how long it would take, but they're gonna give let's start with black, some sort of way, because it's got to be black because they always give them the floodgates and stuff first because they're the defensive color. But they're gonna make a floodgate or they're gonna make a card that directly punishes strategies like purple. It's gonna happen.
I mean, they've already made that card. It's a whole deck and archetype. It's called Gallantmon. The problem
unfortunately,
is
that's
it's not that good.
Yeah. I'm talking about more cards that do like merciful mode stuff, where they interact with your opponent's trash, put it back in their deck or something like that.
Like merciful mode.
Yeah, like
So
like
anyways.
merciful mode. But yeah. So next up, BT12.
Beelzemon. Boo.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it was a deck. Still is.
Ridiculous support for that archetype.
Yeah.
BT12 gave us the potentially best set.
Yeah, because it was all the pro tags. So you got Hunters, you got Red Hybrid, you got Imperial, Raid War Grey. Like, it came with a really, really good plethora of all sorts of really good decks.
That was the start of them releasing those like tamers with like their Digimon on it, right? Because
Yeah,
a bunch of tamers,
alt-arts.
a bunch of tamer cards, alt arts now get those. So that was like the
Yeah,
start.
it was
Yeah,
all the white alt art tamers.
BT12 is up there with like best set this year.
Yeah.
And not just because we're Agumon fans, Sean. It actually had some really good stuff in
It had
it.
support
for
like
everybody.
Yeah, all the pro tag decks got support. It was very good.
Is that was the start of the Shine support, right? Like the drip feed.
Yes,
That's where we got
that's where we got. That's where we first. That's where we got the broken Marcus.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The pretty good Shine. I think BT2 Shine's better, but that's only because of how stupid decks are now. But
yeah, with how Ruin mode works too, because of that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the beginning of the Shine support.
Yeah, so BT12 I think was one of the better sets to release. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we also got Quartzmon
Yes.
in that set. Very, very good card, very strong card.
The entire Hunter's archetype as well.
Yeah.
Like the whole
so
deck.
You got all of it. There was Hunter's support, there was Cross support, Shine support. Like, it had everything. So, very, very good set.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately following that, we got another very good set, which was EX4 in June.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I really love that set because Alter S. That deck is so much fun.
Very good.
Wasn't that like one of the only decks in that set though? What else was in there?
The only thing I cared about.
It was also Shine support. We got Ruin mode and some of the. We got an Agumon and a Gram or a Geo Gray. I don't really consider the Rise Gray support.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Is that really it?
I mean, honestly, for me, yeah. It was literally just Alter S for me.
What was the other secret next to Ruin mode?
Alter B.
Alter B? Okay. Yeah, so there wasn't anything too crazy in that. All right.
Well, it had
you got the Alliance support was in there.
Okay.
Which is good.
The Falcomon deck or whatever.
Ravemon.
The Ravemon deck.
Yep. God, I wanted that deck to be so good, and then we saw the support for it, and it's just like, oh, they all just do the same thing.
You got more Mirage support. This is actually a set where you actually got the Mirage that got limited.
Every single one of them can play their tamers for free. Ravemon cannot.
Ravemon cannot.
That's right. That's what you deserve.
We also got Medieval Gallantmon, which is a bad card, but it looks
on. Move on from that. That's a bad card.
Yeah, Victory Greymon and Zeed Garurumon, guys.
Oh my god. The Victory Greymon has potential. The other two cards you mentioned.
The Victory Greymon about, I don't know, 4 to 5 sets ago would have been like a really good card.
Yeah, it would have been nasty.
Now, a very good card that came in the set was Shadow Seraphimon. That is a very good card.
Yeah, just a random standalone card. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't even come with like the rest of his archetype.
No,
was, like,
it's just a random rare.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, dude, that alt art goes hard.
Mm-hmm.
So we like that. But yeah, so I mean, EX4, it was basically just Alter S for me. You know, Sean got his Alter S and his Ruin mode, so you know, very good.
That's right.
And Chris got to cry when he tried to play Ravemon.
He did.
I had Ruin mode. Ruin mode. Good card.
Good card.
Good card.
Cool card.
And then a month later, we had BT13 coming in July. I think BT13
that's the last of the Shine support, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Royal Knight deck, the last of the Shine support.
It was Burst mode was basically the only piece we were missing, and the other Marcus.
We finally got almost full power Mirage, because again we didn't get to training cards yet.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get that until later. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it was a pretty good set. It had Belfamon in it, very good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Definitely wasn't a top tier deck. I don't know why it topped any events, but it did. Okay.
What does it take to be a top tier deck? Had consistent winning results, and then the whole entire format turned against it because no one wanted to play against it, so they countered it, forcing it out.
Yeah, if it would have been a top tier deck, it would have won anyway.
That's like telling Royal Knights, just play through your 4 Solar Mons on your board.
That was the
Yeah,
reason
you're not
why I
a good
stopped
deck.
playing Royal Knights was
Crimson-
losing to
Crimson
Solar
Blaze.
and Psychmon.
Crimson Blaze for 2 memory. You got 4 Solar Mons?
Okay.
Crimson Blaze.
Okay, Mr. Wrong Opinion. Go ahead, continue.
Crimson
also
Blaze
got
in a purple
Ravemon
deck?
Burst Mode, but you know.
Listen, Brandon, I would agree with you, but I just don't want to be wrong. So,
Yeah, coming from the guy who thought Ravemon could actually be good.
I mean, a lot of decks on paper seem like they could be really good. It just
Okay, when Raymond could literally dodge Ruin Mode. It is one of the few cards in the game that can just straight dodge it because it just leaves the board and then comes back.
Yeah, it's actually really annoying to play against Ravamon when you have like heavy removal in your deck because you can't interact with it.
Yes, the following support that it got was just so bad because it was all the same stuff. It didn't add anything to the deck itself.
Also, it loses to Pillowmon and the like, which are
it just doesn't come back.
Yeah, it just doesn't come back, and
Oh,
obviously
God.
that's a really good card now. So
It won't
Yeah,
come
we're
back.
definitely seeing that being played a lot more.
yes.
Other than that, you know, we had, like I said, the Royal Knight deck. There was a bit of Jelly support in there randomly. You did get the Leomon cards randomly.
Leomon.
Yeah, it was like random Boncho Leomon
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. The Chessmon cards were in that set.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Chess one.
Then, of course, you had Bloom support also in this set. Because I'm not going to say what it was actually supporting, because it was just Bloom support.
What set did Bloom Lord come out in?
That was a while
BT10.
ago. Yeah.
Okay,
It was like the end of last year.
Okay, and that's still the best green deck.
Basically,
Yeah.
yes.
Is that the longest? Is that the longest running deck right now?
Do you consider Grandmon Tribal a deck?
No, because your top end's just BT12.
Yeah, I mean you play a couple BT1 War Greymons, but it's like
So that's literally only
it's
you. I haven't seen anybody else do it.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people playing BT1 War Greymon. They think that the Secret Rare War Greymon's superior for some reason.
so is that the longest running deck? Like what else is there? Like since
Still
then?
running cards from like that old.
I'm talking about as its like core concept.
Main engine.
Like,
yeah.
Bloom obviously plays a lot of different cards now, like because it's gotten all this new Rosemon support.
Mhm.
But like, its whole core idea is the same thing. Like,
Yeah. It might
Rosemon
be.
support.
that's what I did. I did this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I went Rosemon support.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think BT13 was a pretty solid set.
it was
Had some
alright.
pretty okay decks in it. I mean, it
What
definitely
were
wasn't
the
nearly
secrets?
as good as BT12.
The
Gallant and Omni.
Gallant.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
That's
the-
right.
Because Royal Knights was a expensive deck.
Twas. Still
I
is,
really liked-
actually.
I really like the idea of Royal Knight. I like it. I think it's cool. Like thematically, it's really cool. But at the same time, it kind of doesn't make sense because like
It loses to Little Gear Boy.
Omni-Man.
Well, Omni-Man is is the face of Digimon right there behind Agumon.
Mhm.
But technically, thematically, I think Alphamon's the leader of the Royal Knights.
I think he's the creator of the Royal
Oh.
Knights, from my understanding.
No, that was Paladin mode.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
But yeah,
No,
isn't Alphamon the
Alphamon's-
leader?
No, Omnimon is the leader.
Is he?
Okay, listen, it changes with every continuity. If you're looking at
Okay.
the old X Antibody movie, Omnimon is the leader of the Royal Knights.
Okay,
That is
alright.
stated. And then he betrays them And it's a whole thing.
I just don't understand why the strongest Royal Knight, Magnamon, is not the leader.
The plot armoriest.
Is he the strongest?
Okay, no, listen.
Sean, we've been over this. His literal gimmick, Sean, is he makes miracles happen. So if he's about to lose, yes, if he's going to lose, a miracle happens and he will win. That is his literal plot armor.
Let's say War Greymon is about to stab him through the heart. The miracle would make War Greymon's little Draymon Destroyer just be like, oh man, I had some rust in this one spot and now it is broken.
So this sounds like Yugi from the show where he just cheats.
It's literally
just
plot armor.
Yeah,
that's his whole thing. Literal plot armor. So, anyway. Yeah, BT13, kind of middle of the pack.
I liked it. I think it was alright. I don't think it reaches.
I
don't think it reaches BT12. Well, which one was the one with Raid War Greymon?
BT12.
Yeah, BT12.
Are we putting it above BT11 though?
No, not for me.
What was in 11?
Black War X, Greymon X.
Black War X and all that. Okay. You know what? I kind of do because I think with that one, like with Black War X and stuff, you only ever splashed in like 1 or 2 Black War X's because that's when we were still playing like multiple Gaiomons and like multiple Black War Greymons, and then you just played the Black War X as like a
little top end guy.
Like a little top end. Like,
but it gave us Greymon X.
Yeah, you got Greymon X, and that guy's at 1.
Yeah, and now they've arrested him and put him in prison.
But we had him at 4 for like a couple of months.
Him and Garu X are going to be cellmates.
That did introduce us to one of my favorite arts in the game. That is that Metal Greymon that allows you to attack. Is that the one? No, that was the Black War Greymon. See, okay, I liked BT12 more.
Yeah, we're not arguing BT12. It's BT11 versus BT13.
No, I'd probably give it to BT11.
God,
over BT13.
We need 4 Greymon X's again, dude.
Yes.
All right. So next, probably one of the biggest fumbles all year. RB1, September 29th.
It sucked. Move on.
Never forget.
Yeah. You guys caused this. Everybody was like, but we need all the reprints.
I would say the vocal minority. I wouldn't blame the entire player base for something like that.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for doing it because some of those older cards were harder to get, but it's like at the same time, like...
But then, like, those same people were complaining that they couldn't pull the new stuff.
The issue was the ratios that Bandai put in it, because if you opened a box, you pulled, like, a playset of all the most of the old stuff, but there were random, like, rares and promo cards that you might pull one of maybe out of a box.
Yep. Yeah. Because they knew that they had to find a way to sell that set, and that was how they were going to do it.
Short print the new stuff.
Yep.
That doesn't make people buy the set, though, because people just buy the singles.
Nope. Yep, exactly.
Exactly what's going to happen with BT15 now that they've limited the secret rare.
Yup.
Because nobody's going to want to crack open a box and have, like what me and Chris have, and it's like 7 boxes of bulk.
I'm
going to open BT15, but...
Oh, I am too. I'm searching for guards.
I'll buy like 2 boxes, but I'm not going to buy like 3 or 4 like I would normally.
Yeah, like we did for 14. 14 was a very good set. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Is there any Leviamon in that set?
BT15? I think that's when we get the X antibody.
Yeah, I was about to say that's X antibody, I believe. Because in EX5 you get Leviamon, and then BT15 you get Levia X.
Ben resolved Leviamon on me when we were playtesting on the sim. He evoed into it, and it popped 2 of my level 5s.
Did he give you the Digimon and then go into it?
No.
Oh, you just already had stuff on the board.
No, he just hard evoed into it. He still lost that game, but
he did it. Yeah.
I was playing Ruin Mode Turbo.
Who really won?
Yeah, he was playing Anubis Merva and had to evo into a Leviamon. Obviously, he's in a bad spot.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot. All right. So what was after that?
RB1 probably bottom tier, easy bottom tier.
Oh yeah, by far the worst set of the year.
So then after that, we had the release of Starter Deck 15 and 16 in October. That was the October release. I mean, it was we got early access to the
Aces.
Blast Evos in BT13 as a box stopper.
Yeah.
So just getting the rest of the deck for like Greymon players was a little superfluous. Like you don't really play a whole lot of those cards unless you're playing black base.
Yeah.
And then with Melga, it was actually mandatory now to play a lot of these cards because they hit our only good level 5 to 1. So once we got this, we were actually able to play the deck again.
Oh no, Bandai! My deck was topping for almost over half a year. Why would you do this to us?
Yeah. So now we actually had a playable level 5. Because I mean, I'd argue that's
For
the
now.
exact opposite problem.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, for now. I mean, we get Weregaru X, which is very good in the X5.
What about the other ones, the Gabu and the Garu? What's up with those?
Oh, they were so good.
Is any good?
Yeah, they were very good. So too good, some people would say.
I hope Red Hybrid keeps topping the way it is, so they touch that deck too.
Yeah, just kill all my favorite decks.
Takuya, and Emperor Greymon to 1.
Oh God.
I feel like I'm curious what you like if you were so inclined to
Atomic
hit Red
Inferno.
Hybrid. No.
A 1-cost option with 3,000 DP, and if you block 3 memory, I mean,
No.
that's free real estate.
I think maybe
It does do a lot. Atomic Inferno is text the card. It does a lot.
It does do a lot.
Let me
I think
promote
hitting the
level
Warp
4.
Takuya to 1 would probably be the best way to hit that deck without
that's
completely
what I'm
murdering
saying.
it.
Kill the deck.
That wouldn't
Got
kill
it.
the deck.
Like Atomic
Got
Inferno. Atomic Inferno, just promote level 4, drop 2 of them. I'm swinging at 3 of your security at like super big. Like just turn 2. Oh, sorry, you gave me enough memory to where I can just blow my load all in one turn.
I agree that it does do a lot, but you're not replacing those cards. So if it dies on that first check, like God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then I get to play my
you've
Tamer, draw a card, and play a Flamon. We've been through
that's
this.
fine. But the Atomic Inferno isn't replacing any. They're like technically like not dead cards in your hand, but they're taking up space.
Like if you get your opponent down to 1 security, it's a dead card.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
At that point, you're only using it if they have blockers, and you want to force them to give you extra memory.
Exactly.
Okay, so those starter decks were kind of trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the purple one is by far more important than the black one.
If they had made both of them dual color, like blue purple and
Top
black
tier.
red, amazing support. Absolutely amazing. But
Because the fact that the black one doesn't interact with any of your red stuff really hurts.
yeah.
Like, I'll let you talk about that because you're the Greymon player here. Like, if you want to explain what you mean.
You just can't play any of the red searching options and still play those cards because it'll just whiff on them. That's the biggest issue.
And then the best level 4 black Greymon is at 1. And it's even black red.
Greymon X, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we still had 4 gray X's, you could definitely feel a lot better about playing the black base. I still think the black base is probably best for this format, but it would be a lot better if we had 4 Greymon X's.
Yep.
Especially since the Ace, specifically, for both decks, do not interact with Omnimon at all.
Yeah, you can't blitz Omni. If you could blitz Omni, that War Greymon Ace would be so good.
Yeah.
If we had a more updated like alter card.
You mean like the one we got 2 sets ago?
What?
Yeah, like like Omnimon Alter. Remember like back in like BT 1.5?
Alter
We got
S?
Omnimon Alter S, yeah. Was it Alter S?
Yeah, it was Alter S.
Yeah.
It was
we
the
would've
original
needed-
Alter S.
We would have needed like a black and purple Alter S, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Or like an Omnimon that was like black and purple that could play on the one
A
of
new
those two.
Swart.
Yeah, or
New
something
Zwart
like
would
that.
be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be vibing with that. I mean, we'll see what we get with the recent reveal of 17 announcing that we're getting an Ace Omnimon. So fingers crossed that's actually really good.
It better
'Cause,
be,
you know,
dude.
Wayne, it is gonna be good. What are you talking about?
It's Omnimon.
It's Omnimon.
Let's go, Omni4Game podcast. We're popping off.
Ace level 7s are going to be lit. I can't wait.
Aw, dude.
Degenerate.
Yeah, so the starter deck's pretty mid.
Yeah.
Really helped the purple Garu deck. It started the purple engine because now you had the Garu and the Gabu that also had the draw one, trash one inheritable. Because that was also part of the issue, is now that you had basically 2 lines that let you do that, because starter deck 6 also gave you those exact inheritables. But the starter deck 6 ones were not once per turn, which was an issue.
And Gabumon paid that price.
Yep. They shot him in the face. Feels bad.
He deserved
Twice. 3 times. 3 times. Shot Gabumon specifically 3 times. Yeah, feels bad. And then, of course...
Them rabies.
Yeah.
Put them down.
Man, they're rabid. And of course, the final set that came out this year, BT14, which came out in November, which we are currently in that format right now.
S tier set, War Greymon, best card, Agumon, broken.
Yep.
Obviously,
Dude,
like everything's just so good.
BT14 Tai Kamiya, dude, that card is busted. Why did they print that?
So good.
Zunamon Ace, trash card. Why would they waste cardboard on that?
Why would you even play Lugamon when you can play War Greymon?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. You could 10 card combo someone turn 2 and OTK them through 5 security.
Definitely not me looking over there at Ben, who OTK'd me turn 2 legitimately with less cards. But, you know.
Yeah, the last 2 waves of Greymon support we've gotten have been trash compared to what we've gotten in the past.
I can't blame them. They can't always be good.
They're giving Garu stuff. They're giving Garu such good stuff that they're having to banhammer them multiple times in the course of like 1 month.
Would you rather be flying too close to the sun with War Grey that they have to start banhammering stuff?
Yeah, because at least then it means we're getting good support.
What if they hit your precious Raid War Greymon to 1 because of what they were printing?
They would need to hit the new stuff. If they hit Raid War Greymon, that would make me mad.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they're hitting the new stuff for you.
I lost 2 old cards because of this.
You didn't even play those cards before, though.
Okay,
but I was getting ready to play those cards.
I think we should limit BT14, War Greymon, Agumon, and Tai Kamiya.
We should put them to 0 because they're terrible.
Exactly.
Stop people from using them.
Yeah, in my ban list, in my headcanon ban list, they're at 0 because I'll never play them.
No, but for real though, like this set is actually pretty goated. Like finally getting color. I mean, except for
it's 2023. I don't think you can say that.
Except for black and purple, getting their ace cards.
Yes,
very good.
Ace cards are very good. I'm very happy they introduced more interactions on your opponent's turn.
Like, I'm actually low-key considering playing a couple, maybe 1 metal gray aces in red hybrid, unironically, because 9 times out of 10 you swing with your level 4. If it doesn't die, all right, cool. Swing at me, I dare ya.
So you saw that deck that won the regional in person? They were playing one.
They were playing one? Oh, I saw the one that was playing the Ukamon engine.
I think it was the same list. I think they were playing one.
Maybe it was just subliminally implanted in my mind.
Aces are really good in hybrid decks because you're naturally going to have level 4s on the field that are just sitting
exactly. See, I was thinking about it because I was watching Chris play the hybrid game with Caleb, and I was like, oh, dude, there's a level 5 red. It's kind of garbage, but I could play it.
Yeah.
I think BT14 would be really good if there wasn't a certain degenerate purple deck going around.
Yeah, if the Lugamon archetype wasn't introduced in BT14, I'd probably like it a lot more.
If it was introduced,
if it was introduced,
like
but you didn't get the entire deck in one set.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
You grabbed like 4 to like 10 cards out of your bulk and you'd have the deck.
Yeah.
People say, but guys, the Agumon Gabumon Alter S deck was all in one set, and guess what? Hasn't seen support since.
Yeah, we're getting some later, but
we're getting a random
level 4.
Yeah, random white. No, I think it might be black.
He's black.
Level 4. That's like I don't even know how you would fit that
Otamamon.
card into the deck. It's such a weird support
yeah.
card for the
I think
deck.
what they want you to
Exactly.
do is play it as your third level 4. But I think the Greymon's still kind of better. The BT12 Greymon that lets you play the Tamer for free.
I agree. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'll
And
have to...
Luga is getting some crazy broken support.
Yeah,
in the next
Lugamon's just
couple sets.
repeatedly getting
Yeah,
support for like the next 4
3
sets.
3 to 4 sets straight of just getting straight Luga support is hilarious.
Imagine we got all of the Shine Greymon deck in one set.
Dude, people would hate...
Bruh.
You know what's surprising is people have actually stopped complaining about Shine Greymon recently, and I don't know
Because they're
why.
too busy complaining about Pokemon.
Too busy complaining about Japan's meta.
They're not even playing against it right now, and they're like, I hate this card.
Tear Zero.
They don't.
But
they need to have someone playing Ruin Mode Turbo at their local so they can feel the pain.
it's great. Love it. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the BT14 getting us an entire purple deck, basically just ready to go, like straight off the rip, because you got one level 3, which is the only level 3 you need. Like the other level 3s you play in the deck are supplementary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I ever see.
Yeah, you got 2 level 4s, which are both mandatory in the deck because they're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 level 5s. One of them is disguised as an option card that just
See, that's the
blows up
problem.
bodies
It should be
and
one level
refills your hand.
4. Should be
Yeah.
1 level 4 and 1 level 5,
And
and
then
then your
sprinkle
level
it in.
6.
Yeah.
And your 1 tamer.
Yep.
Should have just 1 line, and then the next set they're like, here are the other ones.
Someone
But
that
they
recently
decided to
got
blow
hired at
their load.
Bandai really likes Lugamon.
Yeah. Well, he's the new boy, so they got to give him all that support.
They're not doing that for Commandramon.
Well, they did it for Cross Art. Cross Art, his entire season came out in one set. You got all the tamers, you got all the pieces. I mean, you didn't get
I think the way they were trying to build that deck, though, like the idea behind it, that they had to do it like that.
Yeah, they had to. It wouldn't have been a deck if they would have drip fed it.
Yeah, you couldn't have played Cross Art for like 3 or 4 sets.
2, 3 sets, yeah.
But you could have played Lugamon if we just gotten 1 level 4, 1 level 5.
It just wouldn't have been as degenerate because then you're forced to play, let's say for instance, we got the Luga line. So Hell Luger and Fangmon don't come out.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2 cards we get later.
And those are 2 of the best cards in the deck.
Yeah. You're forced to play maybe more copies of Chimera.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we had to play Shine Greymon.
Yeah.
We had to fill in our pieces.
Kind of janky at first.
You're probably playing more copies of Black Gato. You're probably playing more copies of Sanglautmon.
Yeah.
He's probably not even the best dark animal you can play. You probably play Dobermon at that point. Dobermon's pretty good.
Yeah. Especially if you're only limited to 1 line, it would let you recycle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you'd probably play Dobermon. But yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as consistent. Because a lot of times when you're playing Luga, your first 2 turns are kind of just setup turns where you go into a Hell Luger just to draw cards and fill up your trash. So the Hell Luger is really good.
Yes.
Commandramon though, we finally got a nice solid deck for them.
Yeah.
They've been trying. They've been printing.
They didn't know what the hell to do with it. I mean, think about it. His top end was Darkdramon.
Yeah.
Why? It just seems so random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't work with anything else.
Yeah.
It was just so weird.
At least we finally have a narrow focus on the Digi Police, and we're getting consistent.
Yeah,
support
exactly.
going forward.
Yeah. It'd be a pretty good deck if you run DCD Bomb in it. Otherwise, it's probably pretty bad.
Agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
You might have 2-0'd me if
stuff.
you were playing DCD Bomb on your list.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe.
Another really good thing is we got the blue Source Strip cards. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, because Blue needed more of that for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Sean has
Exactly.
great fond memories of Shogun Gekomon.
Nah, dude, I punished everybody that did that to me in the last Ulti Cup.
Yeah, what about the first day? Yeah, we don't talk about the first day.
I just get hard walled by a level 5. It's so
Feels
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yellow got its entire vaccine deck. Well, not the entire thing, but you got the pieces you needed to make it a deck.
Yeah. You already.
I mean, you still play old cards, but
yeah, the old cards that already exist were enough to fill it out.
yeah, but that's a very good deck. I think this set came out and it actually changed a lot. Like, because with BT12, like you still saw some old strategies getting played. BT13, you saw old strategies getting played, but then you get to BT14 and it's like, oh, everybody's playing 3 decks from this set. Yellow Vaccine, Commandramon, Lugamon, and then you have that one guy in the corner playing BT14 Ward Greymon.
Caleb.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing over there. What that dog do?
He's best.
You know what's funny is I haven't built any of the new decks.
Yeah, I mean you built a new-ish deck with Blue Hybrid now that we have like the Tommy and stuff back, and you have access to Zudo.
Yeah, but like I haven't built any of the decks like we got in the set. Like I've just built old decks with new support.
Merciful mode splashed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think this set I'd put it just under BT12.
Is BT12 our number one?
That's my number one for this year.
I think so.
I'm also pretty nostalgic for it because that was the set we went to the Atlanta trip with.
That's fair.
Yep.
So I'm already a little biased towards BT12.
I guess it would be under BT12 for me as well, but probably mostly because of the ace cards.
Yes. And the Bloom
Yeah,
support,
that's the
guys.
only
Can't forget
thing.
about all that Bloom support.
That's the only thing that holds up that entire set, in my opinion, is some of those ace cards.
Yeah, the introduction of ace. Well, level 5 aces.
I mean, just finally getting more consistent ways to interact with your opponent during their turn. Pretty good. We like that.
Yes.
Let's get more.
New game
creative with
mechanics.
Yeah, get creative with it. All right, so after sets, you guys want to talk briefly about the ban lists that happened this year. So we had 3.
We're gonna be here all day with your topic.
Oh, this one's easy.
This is gonna be the
ban list.
whole pod. I was just talking about the year.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3 ban list. The first one, April 1st. It was a big April Fool's joke. Sean, would you like to guess which one this is?
No, I would not.
This is the one where they literally only touched one card.
I'm aware.
And it was
I'm aware of what this ban list is.
It was the only card touched. It was Greymon X.
So mad.
So
stupid. They were like, "Hey, everything else is fine. Gray X to 1."
He did nothing wrong.
For real, dude.
Yeah, there are other degenerate decks that do more.
We never got to play BT12 Raid War Gray at full power because Gray X got hit before we got the cards.
And it's not even like Raid War Greymon's that hard to play against. Like,
it's not.
Don't have an unsuspended body.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't give your opponent... Because even then, they would still need 4 memory to go into War Gray without passing turn.
Yep.
Which I guess, to be fair, is a Taikami and a memory setter. But still...
It's not like we had training cards back in the day either, so
no, we
it's
had
not like you could really play them with the multicolor stuff. But
we had to play memory boost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so then the very next ban list came out in June. This is the one where they hit Grand Kuwagamon, Weregaru, Blossomon, Impmon. I think this was actually a pretty slept-on list.
Weregaru was hit way later than it should have been. Like, it should have been hit it was because months before.
There was a territory in the card game that did not have access to the Weregaru, so because of that, they never touched it because they didn't want to hit a card where a territory never got to play with it.
Here's the thing, though. They've hit Apoclymon and Anubismon before they've been printed in English.
But Sean, we're gonna have it for 2 weeks.
We are a much bigger market than that random place that didn't have access to the promo Weregaru.
Yeah. If anything, just let them have it.
I think Blossomon was a stray hit that didn't deserve it because of the deck that's abusing it.
Well, deck that's abusing it. It's because it's a vegetation or what? It's a plant or vegetation something.
I think
it's
that's
searchable
honestly.
On that deck.
It's the only reason I think that is keeping Argomon still on that list.
I'm not even.
Bloom.
I feel like even if you put Argo back to 4, I'm not sure if Bloom even plays it.
I mean, yeah, they have enough like Rosemon support to replace it with.
Like they have so much stuff because Argomon's not searchable in that deck. You have to hard draw it.
You have to hard draw it, yeah. Because like with the Lilamons, you can play Tamers for free, stuff like that.
Yeah, like I don't think you have room for Argomon anymore.
And then Imp. Imp was the incorrect hit in the
Yeah.
A
Beelzebub
wrong
deck.
card.
Should have hit Iron Mako, obviously.
Yeah. Like if they would hit both, okay, cool.
I think they just completely murdered the deck if they hit both. I think they should have hit
100%.
Iron Mako to 1. And
I
that
know, like
would
a certain Garu.
Where they took both of my cards.
yeah, they're like, you know what?
Yup.
You've had your time in the sun.
Yeah, so and then Grand Kuwagamon, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of random. Like I think that was maybe future proofing,
Probably.
but they
Still feels kind of weird.
they still refuse to hit hidden potential to 0.
That deck murdered that deck. They hit Grand, and then that deck just fell off like
Yeah,
a bad habit.
That deck was never seeing a lot of
Brandis
play
hasn't been touched.
anyway, so it was really
Yeah.
random. But yeah, you can't play that deck anymore. Like it's unplayable without Grand Quagga at 4.
And then, of course, the final change that was effective this year was November 17th.
Some would say the best.
Yes, with the return of Tommy,
Yeah,
the return of Savior, which that deck's still not doing anything.
yeah.
Good job on
Justmon's still a bag full of bricks.
that. Yep. Eismon, so now both Eismon are at 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Geo, which I think we all agree was because of vaccine.
100% because of vaccine and like yellow hybrid strategies.
Yep, Mott Galgamon, which, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then both of the Gabumons, which again, fair enough.
Yeah.
All the blue Gabumons are now laughing as all the purple Gabumons sit in jail. I saw that meme.
There's a half blue
We have one.
Gabumon that's about to join them.
Yeah. Feels bad. Well, no, technically we have 2 Gabumons that are purple that are unlimited. The starter deck and the BT14. No, 14, BT4. So, yeah. I think...
Is that the
'cause it's
vanilla?
Yeah, it's the vanilla.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, just put that to 1 too. It's a
They
vanilla,
might as
but it's named
well. You know,
Gabumon.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
why
Like,
not?
you don't want to
It's
let
Gabumon.
them.
You gotta put it to 1.
Gabumon doesn't have enough cred, Brandon. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. All that cred. But yeah, no, I think this ban list specifically was actually really important because it gave us access to 2 old strategies that I think were... I mean, one of them was never going to be relevant again unless they give it some kind of stupid, nutty support in Jesmon. Like, I think Caleb was saying he really wants the ability for the Sistermons to Evo inside your line.
And I told
So
him
they're
that
not
would
just hard
literally
break.
never happen.
That would be crazy.
Like if they were white red, so
No.
you could actually use them as pieces in your combos. You're not
Never,
hard stuck on pieces.
ever happen.
Yeah, so no, it's not happening. And then Tommy actually makes blue hybrid playable again.
Mm-hmm.
So very nice to have that back. And then I think all the other hits were pretty justified. Even as a Gabu player, I can look at it and say, yeah, swinging with Eismon and it dying and you being able to draw like essentially 5 to 6 cards and then trash 3 to 4 cards depending on what your Tama was.
Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous.
Again, that's how you fix purple. You
Kill all the
make it
draw
to where
cards.
you make it to where because Eismon by itself, think about it, right? Okay, Digivolve, draw. Okay, so you've +1. Okay, it's swing.
Well, it
Draw
replaced it,
3. No, shut up. It was already in your hand.
Yeah, the body stays there, so I guess technically it just replaces itself. Yeah, it's an even.
So attack. Draw 3, discard 2.
You've +1. It should be a
Plus
break
1.
even.
Technically
It should be
that's
draw 2, discard 2.
technically it's an even because the body is being replaced
Yeah.
in your hand. But when you stack it on top of the Gabumon and the Demimeramon, you're actually plussing because that's 3 additional cards you're drawing.
This is what it should be. Draw 1, discard 1. Because now you've gotten 2 cards
That's
into
what
your
the
deck.
Gabu is. That's what the Gabu and the
Yeah.
Garu are.
Exactly. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah,
Like, if purple cards are going to be like that, it can't be more than draw 2, discard 2. Like, it's got to be that.
Yeah,
You can't be getting 3 cards into your deck. 4 if you count the dilution.
if you have the perfect Eismon stack, it's a +1.
Yo.
Oh, you guys just froze. Okay, there we go. It's a +1, but you're drawing 6 cards and discarding 5 cards.
It's very nutty. So the reason that got hit.
1,
So.
2, 3, 6, and then 1. I'm sorry, you're discarding 4 cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drawing 6, discarding 4.
Yeah,
So it's
2, 1, 1.
So it's a +1 that dug you super deep into your deck. That's a problem I have with Hellugermon. I think if Hellugermon didn't draw 2 cards, it would be much more balanced.
It's
Because
already got
you're
removal. Why else does
literally-
it need to
Yeah,
draw and
'cause
discard?
it would actually punish them a
replacing
little
itself.
bit when they're trying to outlevel 6s, but they're adding a card from their trash and 2 cards from their deck, so like they're not losing any resources for it. It's stupid.
And that's why I said I felt like Belphemon was a very perfectly balanced purple deck, because its main effect that you wanted with Rage Mode, if you wanted its security attack +1 and all of its effects, it said you could only have 6 or fewer cards in hand. You had to meet certain restrictions. With other purple decks, there are no restrictions. Beelzemons, you gotta have this many cards in trash. Okay, I've literally seen Ben reach that limit in 1 turn.
1 turn. Super Omega Wombo. Can we talk about how back in the day, when they were printing purple cards, they were very specific on how they worded things? Like, they were like, hey,
Yes.
you can play this out of the trash,
No
but
on
no
play.
one plays.
No on play.
And then at one point, they were just like, sure, you can have them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that was
On play.
Yeah, that was the mistake.
What about Rush?
Yeah, on play, right? Whatever. Do whatever you want, dude. Play everything
Remember
free.
when-
Who cares?
Go ahead.
Remember when their keyword? Remember when their keyword was just retaliation?
Retaliation
Now it's
and
alliance.
deleting things that are unsuspended.
Hear me
Yeah,
out. Hear me
now
out.
I've got
What if-
Alliance. I've got all this good stuff.
Imagine if Lugamon, right? Because it can become a blocker, correct?
Yeah.
Does it also have retaliation?
If you have Black Gato in your stack, you can
Yeah,
give it
you-
retaliation.
You could give it.
Okay, so imagine if it also just had a keyword as Lugamon. It just said also retaliation.
Also retaliation.
Uh,
We'll get there.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
Anubis Merva, when they poop out a wide board, they have blockers with retal.
Yep. Good
It's
luck
like
getting through that.
it's like 5 to 6 dudes, and like 3 or 4 of them are blockers with retaliation.
It's great.
Hell yeah.
I get to bounce them all back to their hand.
Yeah.
So good ban list.
Yeah, that was very good.
Mhm.
I think overall this year for this card game has actually been a pretty good year. There's only like 2 things in there where you're like, that's kind of bad.
Yeah, like
And
Grandma
unfortunately,
Next
they
being the
were-
only card on a ban list.
Yeah. One change.
I
I was more referring to like RB1.
yeah.
Like RB1.
RB1
was
as a
big
set.
flop.
Yeah, those just the
Basically-
ratios.
Basically, from September to November, waiting for BT14 to come out was kind of a slog.
I
was
forgot
actually-
that was like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
It was a while.
Because BT13 came out in July, and we didn't get 14 until November 17th.
Yeah.
So that was probably the worst part about the year. It's just this last part of the year has been a bit of a slog, and we're kind of in a same holding pattern right now, waiting for EX5 to come out, but we're getting pretty close to that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the pre-release of BT14.
Yeah, with those people over there who all opened up all the blasts.
I
Yeah.
just
Hogging them all
I just really
themselves.
enjoyed
I guess-
the Leomon Wombo I pulled on Chris.
Yeah.
Leomon,
Oh my
let's go.
God.
Leomon, let's go. The Papa.
Whose
The Wombo
topic is next? Whose topic is next? Okay, I don't need to be sitting here
I wanna
going
do-
through this.
Oh,
I
you know
wanna-
what? This is the perfect segue to Chris's.
Yes.
How to
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with tilt. So, Chris, how do you cope with your tilt? You look
Okay,
like
so
you've masterfully dealt with it.
with me, when I get tilted, which it does happen, it happens to everyone, some more than others, Brandon. You are just vocally. Everyone knows when Brandon's upset. Everyone knows.
Brandon wears his tilt on his forehead.
On my sleeve.
On his
Listen,
forehead.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be the guy who's like screaming at you, but you
That's
will
not
know I'm
true.
upset. I'll scream at you because it's always flipped. I don't know. I'll scream at you because we're related. That's just how our family communicates. It's very unhealthy.
So
It's very easy to tell when Brandon's hand is bad because he'll just be like,
he
Can't even play.
Brandon,
can't even play.
Brand can't play poker. He has no
Yeah.
poker face.
He has the opposite.
I have a poker face. That's how you know I'm actually like in the wombo.
It means your hand is good.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't actually get tilted if I just get straight up beat. Like if someone just outplays me and beats me, like okay, yeah, that's a card game. I get more tilted if there's two instances. One, my deck just doesn't want to cooperate with me. Like I just don't see my pieces. You just sit there and you have to hard pass, and the game's not fun. At that point, it's just not fun.
Yeah, being piece stuck is one of the most irritating things to play in this card game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the other is if I make an obvious misplay and then lose myself the game. That's more on me. You know what I mean? So that'll tilt me. And normally what I'll do is I like to pack up my stuff in my bag and then just walk away. I will literally take a jaunt around the store. I just get up and walk away.
Gotta walk it off.
If y'all
I walk it off.
If y'all are gonna roast me for my tilt, do you remember the tilt he had when we were all sitting there watching his game, commentating on it, and he was like, "Do you guys want to play? Does the peanut gallery want to play?"
That's not tilt. That was more of like a joke.
I think
that's not tilt.
Yeah, I think we were just annoying him. What deck were you playing? I forgot.
Oh God!
It was something bad, like green or something.
Yeah, it was like Diaboromon, wasn't it? Because we were all telling him he needed to go into the blocker Diaboromon.
I thought it was.
don't play it.
I thought it was Diarbitmon, but maybe it was something different.
I swear it was Dio.
No, it had to be something that we were all familiar with, because I wouldn't have been able to tell him what to do with Diarbitmon. Like,
I'm telling you, it was Diaboro.
Oh, hey, I don't think it was, because this was before he brought Dia.
It was a couple weeks ago.
I'm telling you, it's Diaboromon.
Was it?
Anyways,
was it Machine?
Let me. No, it couldn't have been Machine Dramon.
Because I don't know anything about Machine Dramon. I just know it's one big dude who go burr,
Let me set the picture for everyone listening right now. Okay, imagine you're sitting there and you're playing against your opponent, and about 4 people just circle you, and then just question every single play you make.
It's me, Sean, Ben.
Caleb was involved. You're already playing a bad deck, like a very bad deck, and then everyone around you is like, no, that deck can actually work if you just played it better.
Yeah,
and then
we're just talking loudly to each other, like a foot away from.
Oh my God! I can't believe he did that.
And then I'm piece stuck. I have no way to play the game, and they're just like, man, if he was just better at this, like, if he would have spent that $60 on Armageddon, he'd be in a better spot, you know? Like,
facts, dude. Yeah, financially, for sure.
So Brandon, that's how you know I wasn't tilted, because I didn't pack up my stuff and walk away from you guys. I joined in on
you couldn't. You were in the middle of a game.
Oh, I could have. You don't think I would just pick up my stuff and walk out and give my opponent the
You
win?
got it. And just pack it.
I'm playing Diaboromon, Brandon. It's already happening.
This game doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, yeah, normally I'll pack up my stuff, put my mat away, put my decks away in my bag. I'll walk to the front of the store and look at, like, the figures and the comics and stuff. I'll just, like, walk around. Sometimes I'll go outside and just, like, take a deep breath and be like, all right, it's just a game. And then walk back in and I'm good. I haven't really seen Sean. I've never really seen Sean or Ben get too tilted before, if any. Like, never been. I've never really seen Ben get tilted.
When Ben gets, like, quote unquote tilted, it's like after the game where he goes, "I misplayed. I could have done that better," and he starts like berating himself, and you're like, Ben, it's okay.
What is that called? Not like a masochist where you like put yourself down, but a
sadist. I don't know.
Yeah, like I guess a sadist.
Yeah, he talks
himself. He talks himself down. He's just like, man, Ben, you suck. Like, I could have done that so much better. Like, I could have done this, and this.
I could have won more.
The only thing that bothers me to where, like, it could be conceived as tilt is when I make a misplay that costs me the game. If my opponent outplays me, or if I just brick, those are just parts of the game. I don't really... Those are out of my control. The things that I can control, like just misplaying and
like forgetting Ice Wall was on the board.
Yeah, like forgetting that Ice Wall is face up on the field and then swinging and then losing the 2 memory and immediately realizing that
you messed up.
Yeah, I messed up, and I don't take backsies like Brandon. So I just accept it.
Oh my god. You literally did it tonight.
When?
When you were playing against Chris, you takesy backseed.
What did I take you back?
You Digivolve Drew and then did something, and then you were like, "Oh wait, I should have done this." Put the card back. Took the
Are we
Digivolution
talking
back.
about when we were play testing, not in the tournament?
No, it happened in tournament.
I think you were. I think
I
you
was
were playing your
playing
red
Luca.
hybrid deck.
No, I was playing Luga because I remember what interaction it was. It was Hell Luger spitting out AG.
Are you ever going to learn how to play that deck correctly?
No.
No.
Okay,
no,
I'm not.
No.
I'm not a quote unquote purple player. I'm a Gabu player who just happens to play
Oh my
purple because my
God.
deck is somehow purple.
So, when I get tilted, which I wouldn't even really consider it tilt, I just quietly reflect on what I messed up on. So, like, you'll never see me get like.
I just imagine you staring into a sunset. Just
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I do. Like, if I get quiet, it's because I'm thinking about. Like, it's just introspection.
I know when Sean is focusing because he takes his little index and thumb and he goes like this and he sits there and he meditates.
That's not true for any of you guys
Oh,
listening. He's kidding. I don't do that.
He's focusing
don't
in.
listen to him. He totally does this.
But what about
I've
the
seen
yoga
it.
mat that you pull out of your bag and you throw on the floor and then you start doing downward dog?
Yo, downward
I
dog.
swear one day he walked into the bathroom, left the door open behind him, and we just saw him sitting on the toilet. Just
Yeah, just dropping a fresh one. But, yeah, I don't get outwardly angry because of my tilt only being from my misplays. I'm never upset at my opponent, so like, there's no reason for me to like let you know that I'm bothered by myself. So like, I just get kind of quiet and think about it, and just think about like what I could have done better. But I've never actually like upset. I don't think.
yeah, I know my triggers. Like it's
Bad
two
hands.
It's
Losing.
unplayable, unplayable game state.
When my opponent doesn't let me takesy backsy.
No, I'm not taking the slander. Anyway, it's unplayable game state, kind of like what Chris was saying when you're just like you cannot play the game.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Like there's nothing you can do about it. And honestly, it's security. Security tilts me.
Oh yeah,
every
did
time.
you get so tilted by security bombs?
It's just like it always happens. Like people are gonna sit there and watch that Luga versus Wargrey Toolbox deck, their gameplay, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, that Lugamon player sucks." I had to fight through 3 removal options and an X antibody.
They didn't matter, Brandon.
It happened, and it tilted me.
If you had just played correctly, it would have been irrelevant. I would have much rather drawn the Hades forces in that matchup and cleared all your analog use off the field.
See, but I wasn't even tilted about missing the analogs because that's just straight up like, oh, I screwed up. That's on me. Like, and you guys are gonna be like, oh, no takesy backsies. If I takesy backseed, I would have tapped all those analog use and just swung for game.
Well, I think it was that tilt and then the ethering you received in the comments that started this takesy backsies campaign that you've been on.
Yeah, for real.
Like, wait.
Yeah, that Chris
There
guy's
was-
cool, but Brandon, he's a piece of crap Lugamon player. Doesn't know how to play his deck.
Facts.
There was something
Screw you
Josh said earlier that kind of goes back to when I was getting frustrated because my deck just wouldn't work. It was that same week I was playing Diabormon and he was playing Commandramon, and he said something earlier in the kitchen. He goes, yeah, well, Chris gave me that win a couple weeks ago, and I said, nope, trust me, I swear to you, if I could win, I was gonna win. Like,
There's
I did
no
not
mercy.
give you a win. There is no mercy in this household. I was dominate if I could.
Dude, I never
Like,
take
trust
mercy on
me.
people. I don't care if you're new to the
Nope.
game. I'm playing my deck how I'm supposed to play it. Like, I'm not screwing
Exactly.
around.
You ain't
I'm
gonna
out
learn
to
nothing if
win.
you're not
You did
getting clapped.
BM Caleb round 5 though. When you
No,
That was so BM.
No, okay.
you were
upload
like,
the
I'm gonna give him one
gameplay.
more turn.
Upload the gameplay and let the commenters decide.
Yeah, okay, here's the straight road on how to win. Here's the scenic route. This is where Chris went.
You literally gave him
sometimes-
an entire extra turn for no reason.
What? No.
No reason.
Yes.
Sometimes you want to take the scenic route. You want to drive a little bit slow. You want to roll down the windows, throw on some music. You know.
I would have laughed if he would have stabilized and killed you.
Yeah,
Sometimes
for
it's
real.
about the journey. Sometimes it's about the journey, not the destination. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon, do you So you clearly get tilted about things that are out of your control. Do you ever
Everything.
do you get tilted by your own misplays, or is it just stuff that you just have no control over? You're just like,
So
No,
okay, if
because when he misplays, it's not his fault.
it's my fault.
He does that whole. Oh, I should have done that, and it's like that's it. That's it. But when it's anything else, it's hand slamming. It's damn it. Why it's that. But when he makes a misplay, it's just I should have done that.
I should have done that better.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's like, all right, where Garu attempt to swing for game, where Garu swing last security, unsuspend. Breath of the Gods.
yeah, get destroyed,
Yep.
dude.
It's just
Because
Wish I could have been there to high five Caleb.
Yeah, I am that guy who has the worst luck when it comes to security.
This is confirmation
I don't know what
bias,
it is.
Brandon. You only remember the bad stuff. That's why you think it it always happens to you.
Well, because the game I have good security, guess what? It was irrelevant because my opponent usually never touches it because I normally play OTK decks.
I hate it for you. You won the game. I don't know, like.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Brandon will think about the 3 to 5 times that Garu has died or something's happened to that security, but he won't remember the other 1 million security that it freely checked.
Yes.
No.
Brandon, how long is it going to take for you to forget that if you only had the second Grav Crush in your hand, game 3 versus me, you could have won the game?
Listen,
He'll bring it up next week.
I had to put an option card in my Garu deck just to play around this crap because I had the worst luck. It's like, all right, swing level 5, first check's to level 6. Every single time. I literally had to check it.
It's not every single time. That's what we're trying to explain to you. You just remember those times.
And guess what? I had to play high-speed plug-in just to counteract that.
It's a decent tech.
Most players play 6 to 8 copies of a level 6. There's a good chance there might be in there.
So I try to play decks that remove that as an option. Hashtag red hybrid because it's really big, swinging for no options in security. It's one of my favorite decks to pilot because I can just turn my brain off and go burr.
Yeah, that's why I like Wargram on OTK.
Do you know what my favorite interaction is with Brandon when he would play that Garu deck? He'd digivolve into Garurumon and then go, I don't want to have to do this, but I got to, and then go into the Garu. And then he would draw the Garu X off of it.
It's always the X.
Of course. Now I draw it. Now it has no power protection. Of course, now I drew it.
And then you swing security. And the first check kills you.
Swing and it dies, and it's just like, of course. If I had seen the Garu X sooner, it would have been fine.
Yep.
If you'd only had that second Grav Crush.
Yep.
Exactly.
So Brandon, how do you deal with your tilt?
How do you? Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't.
The rage just lives on.
Yeah, I don't have a healthy coping mechanism.
Nope.
My healthy coping mechanism is coming home to my wife, who has cooked me a very beautiful dinner.
Dump cake?
Yes, that thing was so good, dude.
It was pure sugar. I took one bite, Sean.
You can't eat a lot of that thing at a time, but oh my god.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't see any real big pieces taken out of it. I said, I come over and I take like a spoonful, and I'm like, okay, I'm my daily caloric intake of sugar. I think I'm okay.
I need a nap now.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm bad about it. I know it. I just kind of keep my anger, and it just stays there.
Brandon, were those keywords dump cake and all that for you came home and beat E because Garu got banned?
I forgot. On this podcast, I'm a wife beater. I don't know how that started.
You're like, and if only I had the second Grav Crush versus Sean game 3.
This is all your fault.
This is all your fault. You indirectly affected the RNG.
Garu X got limited because of you!
I think that's how it started.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 100% her fault.
Yeah, no, I'm a bad example to follow. I don't deal with my tilt very well. I mean, sometimes I even carry it days later. I'll just be at work, working something, and I'll be like, God, man, that really pissed me off.
Sean, so whenever we play Warzone or like Call of Duty, right? You want to know how I know Brandon gets absolutely tilted?
Because this
Okay, because
happens.
he'll start. Yep, because he goes, because he's talking, he'll talk the whole game, just always communicating, right? As soon as he gets tilted, he just goes dead quiet, not a single sound,
Is
and
it
it's like, oh, he's done.
so? Do you
Yep.
just turn your mic off and just like cuss yourself? Is that what happens, or do you just get quiet?
Okay, so I have found this about myself. If nobody is there to listen, I'm quiet. I'll quiet rage. But if somebody's there to
Interesting.
hear me, I don't know why. A flip switches in my
That's
head.
so
And I'm
odd.
like, God, man, I hate this. This is so bad. Like, I just get tilted.
You know,
And I'll vocalize
it's
it.
the literal exact opposite for me.
Same.
Like I don't
I'm
like
loud.
if I'm by myself, I will just speak out loud what I'm thinking.
Yep.
But
yep.
if I'm around people, there's no reason to subject them to that, so I just do it quietly to myself.
No,
I'm
they're
bad.
gonna know I'm
I'm
pissed.
bad at work about that. I'm bad at work about that. Like everyone will know when I'm pissed off.
Oh yeah, the
What, 'cause you're-
aura.
Do you get quiet?
Oh, it's just I give off this aura, I guess, or like maybe
Just
it's my
goes around
face.
just giving people just the
Yeah, just don't talk to me right now. Or like even
death
earlier,
stare.
I'll be playing like video games or something. Like I was playing Cyberpunk earlier, and I was trying to do this jump, and it just like my character wouldn't catch the ledge, and I go calm that, and I just said it out loud. I would just say stuff. I'm just like it's a video game, and I'm getting so mad right now.
I do that too. Like if I'm by myself, I'll react out loud to things, but
Yeah.
only when I'm by myself.
See,
I'm
it's
letting
the
it out. I'm
opposite
letting
of
it out.
Yeah.
I'll keep it inside if I'm by myself, but like if somebody's there, if I'm playing with somebody, like if somebody's in the room, whatever. But if I'm playing with somebody, I will vocalize what's upsetting me with them.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. I think I've lost count how many times you've told me your hand was entirely one level or things
Oh
like
my
that while
God.
playing you
Oh, yeah.
in tournament. You just tell me straight up your hand's unplayable and I'm like, sick. Free win. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So,
But it can okay in Digimon it can kind of be very easy to tell. I'll know when my opponent is absolutely boned if they hatch and then they don't play anything
just
and then they
pass.
just pass. It's like, oh, okay, this is good.
all right,
So
let's go.
so Brandon going, I don't have a level 3 to play isn't like that honestly bad.
Well,
like who's bluffing that? Who's bluffing that?
He takes it a step further and he'll be like, my hand is entirely level 4s. Or
Okay, that's dumb. I was trying to play mind games with Caleb in game 2. I was like Ben was like, oh, you were so foreshadowing. And I was like, yeah, duh, Ben, like obviously, because I'm trying to
want him
make
to think
Caleb
it.
think.
he was
I want
not
Caleb
he
to
was
think I have it.
he was straight up not listening to us
No,
talk.
Caleb did not care. He said, I'm promoting this. I'm swinging. If you've got the pseudo, whatever. He's like,
He was
go
so
ahead.
that's one thing that Caleb would make him a better player if he paid attention
Yeah.
to what his opponent did, because he really doesn't. Like
Yeah.
he whatever you're doing, that's what you're doing. I'm gonna worry
That's
about
your
what
thing.
I'm doing.
Caleb,
you have
I consider Caleb like an old school train. Like he's on his track and he's just going.
he's just not paying. Like
He's
if
doing it.
you have
He's
stuff he
honking his
needs to play
horn.
around, he ain't
Yep.
worried about that, dude. Whatever you got going on is what you
Nothing.
got going on. I'm gonna do
Do you
my
have a
deck.
blocker? No? Okay, bad.
Literally, yeah.
Yep.
No, any blocker? No. Okay. Promote swing.
Okay.
He did exactly what Solar did, except for you didn't have an ace in your hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
didn't extend handshake.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, don't follow people. Deal with your tilt in a more healthy manner.
Because it can ruin tournament. It can ruin your turn if it happens like early, like round 1, round 2.
Oh, do you guys
And-
remember the Atlanta trip? Chris was tilted because it was just mirror match after mirror match.
Oh yeah,
after
and they would
mirror
just have
match.
better setups than you. I remember that.
Yeah, it ruined my tournament for me because I was getting absolutely slaughtered in mirror matches because they would just see their pieces before me and murder me. So I was just getting tilted because they're playing the same deck but beating me.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Raid War Gray Mirror is a tricky one.
And then like if it happens like in an early like round 2 and you have like an 8 to 10 round tournament, it can ruin it if you don't catch on to it fast enough, because you still have to play multiple games. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to let it go.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how you deal with your tilt.
Yeah, Brandon doesn't deal with it.
Nope.
At least I'm aware of it.
I mean, it's good that you're self-aware, but step 2 would be trying to figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Maybe do what Chris does. Just go take a walk. Just walk around.
Don't do what Josh does.
They have this
Don't.
giant.
Doesn't Josh just quit? Doesn't he just like?
No, Josh will let it build. Brandon's bad about it. Brandon will silent rage. Josh bottles it, and then he will unleash it all at once, and it can get real bad sometimes.
Is it just like something random? Just finally is the last straw.
Oh, it just snaps him. It'll just snap. It just built up, and that bottle's overflowing, and the cork pops, and he's gone.
You know what's really good about that is physical activity. That's really good for burning off like built up stress like that.
Yeah,
like lifting weights and stuff. Just
no. If I get up and walk around, I'm gonna go look at the model kits, and I'm gonna want to buy model kits, and that's not good for my wallet.
Oh my god. Okay.
Don't walk down that aisle, then, Brandon. Go outside.
Yeah, but if I'm up, I'm gonna do it. I don't have the self control.
Go touch grass.
Yeah, go outside and touch the concrete.
I literally have 2 model kits sitting out here that I don't have space for. They're built. They're together. I don't know where to put them.
They're still on the kitchen table.
I'm trying to find space for them on my shelf. I can't find space on my shelves because I have a problem.
All right, Sean, what's your topic?
So,
Step 2.
Someone asked in the comments if we could go over how to beat security control, because they see people say that it's like easy to beat, but no one ever like elaborates.
Which, I mean, fair.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You Google your fortune. You take whatever lucky items that you need for that day based on your star sign.
This guy.
And you carry that with you, because it's the truth. Security control can be based off luck. Based off of what can be in their security.
They can high roll you just like any other deck. It's not just them.
But they have sometimes they can have either completely dead security, like there's just all Magnamons in there, or they're going to have all their bombs in there.
That's what I'm talking about. A high roll for them is having nothing but bombs in their security.
Yeah.
It's no different than someone high rolling you and like OTKing you or comboing you like turn 2 or
they
3.
can kill you.
You can have a strategy going into that matchup. It's just sometimes that strategy is not always going to work. What you really need to do is you need to play a resource game with them. Like, you need to out-resource them. Because the thing is, security control, their hand is a very, very finite resource. They're only going to have so many bombs in their hand, and you need to force them to use them. That's kind of how I go into it thinking.
Even then, I wouldn't even say it's like a resource game because of how much they can recover sometimes. That's like, they're just going to out-recover you, and they're just going to whittle you down, because guess what you don't do? Recover. So it's like...
So I don't think you have the right mentality for... I think...
Me or Brandon?
A little bit of both.
Well, I'm saying it's like
I think Brandon's more on the right track than you are.
Somebody who's
I give up the moment I sit down.
That's your problem. Yeah, you sound like most people that don't like playing versus security control.
Talk to me as though I'm that guy. I just sit down. He says, I'm playing like that guy. The guy in Atlanta who was, we were playing the 3v3, and all he did was sit there and complain about how he played security control today.
Yes.
You remember what I'm talking about?
I played against the dude who was playing security control too. I played against both. We played against some people that all they did was sit there and complain about how they played against security control today. And he was so annoying. He was just, that deck is dead. Like, why are you even playing that? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is out now.
It was a weird choice for that meta, but it doesn't mean that it's, Yeah,
it's a bad pick,
I mean, Chaos Degradation is always going to be a good card.
Yeah. So, I think anyone that struggles to play versus security control should build it and play with it. Because that'll open your eyes to how... not good it is.
Yeah.
Because from the outside looking in, it seems like this unstoppable juggernaut that always has gas in their security and they can always out-recover your aggression. That's not how it works. They draw a super clunky hand sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if their security is not straight gas, a lot of times they can get run down before they can really do anything. The biggest issue that most people have versus it is if you don't have inherent protection for your Digimon, like against like removal of some kind,
you're losing it.
You're probably going to lose it. So you shouldn't invest everything into one stack. Like if I weren't playing like a Greymon tribal deck that had inherent protection, I would just be hard playing everything.
Yep.
And if you know they're playing Death X, I would only hard play 1 to 2 level 4 or lowers. Everything else would be level 5 or level 6. Like I would hard play my megas.
I was gonna say a lot of their bombs too are like single targeting, like removal. So it's like, if you notice that, maybe you try and go wide and like attack them from that angle. You
100% go wide, but you also need to be wary of Death X, and need to have an out to that. So you need to have some kind of removal for that.
You tell me don't play into it like Caleb does, where he knows his opponent's playing Death X, and then he's just like more tamers.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Caleb literally is oblivious to what the opponent is doing and what's in their deck. Like legitimately, that's his big. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been. Well, I mean, it's probably like once or twice, but I've been playing versus Caleb, and I am clearly like I can't do anything, and I'm just passing. He's completely oblivious to what's going on my side of the field. He's just doing his thing, playing his deck. Has no idea that I'm not even playing the game. Like legit.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I love Caleb, but I think that's his biggest issue as a player is like he's not thinking about what the opponent is doing. Which I mean, there are steps to becoming a good player. That's one of them.
Experience.
Yeah.
Big one.
But if you have tamers in your deck, never play more tamers than you need to have in play because of Death X existing. Like when I was playing against Mario and I was playing my Tai Kamiya memory setter and Tai Kamiya blocker, I would only play 1 and 1. No, despite me having multiples of them in my hand, I would only play the 2 that I needed. And even if I would hard pass instead of playing one of them. Because there's no reason to put them on the field because I'm just playing in a Death X that much harder. But yeah, go wide if you don't have protection. Be wary of Death X, so like don't go wide with a bunch of rookies and level 4s if you can help it. Only invest in stacks when you have protection, or you just are. If you can have something with a whole bunch of checks, to where it's maybe worth investing and then swinging once.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta know when to take risks.
Yeah, if you swing into them and they don't have gas in there, you can rush them down to where they're on the back foot. If you ever get them low, they have to either choose one. They have to either recover or remove something. They 9 times out of 10 can't do 2 things on one turn. So like if you put a whole bunch of threats out and start whittling their security down, they can only do so much before they just get run down because like they're not going to be able to out aggro you.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, it's a long con game for them. Their game plan is to whittle you down. It's to keep their security up and keep your board clear. So if you can do the opposite of one of those, keep your board full and keep their security down, you're going to stay in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, you need to force them to deal with stuff.
Yeah, be very wary of Venusmon as well. That's a very good card.
I don't think most lists play that right now.
Not anymore, but just in general. Be
they just don't have. They really just don't have any ways to kill you either. Like,
yeah, it's Magna Angemon, Death X.
Most of the time, they're not killing you until they've already like out-resourced you.
Until they've out-resourced you.
But yeah, if you just diversify your investments, you just hard play everything, because that'll also keep you from decking out. Because it's really easy to deck out if you're just evoing up into a stack, promoting, swinging. It gets outed on their turn.
Dies one time. Yeah,
evo up into a stack. Like you're drawing like 5 cards every other turn. Like you're gonna deck out before you kill them.
Like it's okay to go into a suboptimal stack against security control, because 9 times out of 10 you're just trying to get some damage in.
I was gonna say it's just like how we were talking about Caleb on that train. Some people, when they play a deck, I'm guilty of this too, where it's like, okay, I know this is what this deck does. This is what I want this deck to do. I'm just gonna do that, and they're so focused on that they don't think about, okay, but how can I play around that. They're just like,
Yes.
hey, my line does this. This is what I wanted to do, and then it dies on that first check, and then you're just deflated. You're like, well, I guess my deck just doesn't work like how I want to. So instead of trying to play around their deck, they just figure, oh, okay, that deck is better than this deck, and it does. It stops me from doing what this is supposed to do.
100%.
Big mentality
That's
thing.
most people's biggest issue with security control is they can't adjust.
Yeah, it's a big mentality thing.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I just can't, I can't beat this deck because obviously I play my deck this way, and that's the only play to play it.
Yeah, I will admit I was pretty bad with that when it came to playing against security control back in BT9, BT10, because Garu, it was a one
Unga
thing.
bunga.
You did, yeah. Promote level 5, swing level 5, win level 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work in that. And there was a good little stretch there where I had to really put my face in the dirt and be like, hey, stop that. What that dog doing? You take a step back. Maybe don't do what that dog doing.
Yes.
Maybe do something else.
Do something else, yeah.
Maybe let's abuse the fact that I have a 4-cost level 4 that you can just kind of put it on the board, and your opponent has to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it turns into a level 5 that draws multiple cards next turn. Pretty good.
Pretty
good.
Yeah. Deviating from plan A, that's the biggest hurdle that most players have playing against security control, is they just can't do it because they just don't think about it.
Yeah. Also, just realize not every game is going to be winnable. Sometimes it's just going to be, hey, you got high rolled.
Yeah. Sometimes they high roll you and their security's nothing but gas, but those games are no different than your opponent comboing you turn 2 or turn 3 with a normal deck.
Yeah.
Normal deck.
Yeah, just alter-essing you turn 2 and then making you deal with it.
That's right. And then dealing with a second one 2 turns later.
And then they make a second one. I've heard you liked Alter-S.
Yeah.
Well, here's 2.
Here's 2 copies. If you don't out both of them on your turn with 3 memory, you will lose on my turn.
Yeah. So yeah, just think about the matchup more. Like Sean said, that's actually a really good idea. Play the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Actually sit there and play it, because it'll teach you to know what the deck does and give you the resources to properly out it.
Yeah, because once you play with the deck, it's really scary if your opponent puts you on the back foot ever, where they put you kind of low and also have things that you need to out, because you're never going to be able to do both in one turn, almost ever. There's one card that might be able to, which is Hell Scythe, but that's only popping a 6k.
Yeah.
But most everything is either pure recovery or pure removal, and if you put them in the situation where they need to do both, they have to pick.
Yep, there's gonna be games if you decide to play it, where you're sitting there and you're like, everything that I've played up until this point is screaming at me not to play this this, because there are gonna be turns where you're like, I have to either pass and give you 3, or I could play this 7-cost Magna Angemon and give you 5 to 6 memory and recover 1 card, and then that's it. That's all that Magna Angemon did. Yeah, sure, you recovered 1, but guess what? Most likely that Magna Angemon's either going to die on the following turn, or there are going to be turns where you don't see any of your purple tamers, and you've got nothing but purple options in your hand.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you have access to tamer removal, remove their secondary color. Whatever color their egg is, remove the other color that they have in their tamers, because that'll limit their options that they have in their hand. They can have a bunch of purple options, but if you pop all their purple tamers, they literally can't do anything with them.
Yep.
But yeah, that's how I meticulously play against security control. It's actually, I think it's one of my favorite matchups to play against, because you're just basically playing against a slow, grindy deck that all you have to do is just play correctly most of the time, and you can beat them.
I wouldn't say I hate playing against it. I would say I hate who's playing it because of the way they play it.
I have no issue.
Well, yeah, obviously, because it's free wins for you.
Yeah, because I know how to play against
BT1 War Greymon.
I know how to play against the deck. I think I've only played him one time where I was playing BT1 War Greymon. I played him with different decks multiple times. I played him with Gallantmon in 1-2-0. Like it doesn't like you need to think about what they're doing and think about what your deck can do, and like
There's no thinking about what he's thinking because it's never the same.
think about what they have access to. Like what like if
How's
they remove
that
the
do
stack,
that?
what does that do for me?
How's that do that? It just does.
Does this stack
One
have
of the most
protection? Does this
iconic.
stack float into something else when it's deleted? Like things like that. Like I think if people would just thought about like deviating from plan A, they'd have a lot easier time with security control.
Yep. Agreed.
But yeah, it's legitimately, I'm pretty sure my favorite deck to play versus, which I'm sure is the opposite for 99% of Digimon players.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it.
All right, you guys want to move over to the question portion?
Yes. All right, so one of our questions from D. Lacey 1895. I'll assume that's your birth year. Congratulations on being 120.
That's pretty old.
Should Black Metal
Year.
Garurumon be a deck with support?
Okay, so I had a thought when I saw this. My brain immediately went to the black Metal Garurumon.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Black Metal Garurumon as the Digimon itself, but like the color and then the card.
Yes.
That one card that we have, that one black Metal Garurumon.
Yep. Digiburst.
Yeah, it's Digiburst. That's dead. It's bad. They printed Digiburst, realized, yeah, this was a mistake. Never did it again.
Yeah. Honestly, I like Digiburst. It's kind of weird that they got rid of it.
Yeah, it's such a good effect because it's like they can make if they made those effects more powerful because you're literally paying resources for it.
It's a finite resource.
Digiburst could be good. Yes,
Yeah.
it could be good.
It reminded me of Exceeds from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because like you can only activate it so many times.
But just give us a Machine Dramon that has Digiburst.
Be quiet.
That would
Just
be
refills.
awesome.
Yeah, just
Quiet.
gets rid of and refills.
That is not a finite resource.
Exactly. That's how they break it.
I could see them making that a deck. I mean, why not? Like, they'll probably eventually do it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think it'd be cool if they did Black Metal and Crest Garu, like as like a, I don't know, just a black Garu engine.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
And then I think we could finally see an actual Agumon blue deck. That would be cool. Like, okay, yes, we have blue flare. Okay, whatever. Shut up.
Doesn't have an Agumon.
Snow Agumon.
Yeah, it doesn't have an Agumon. Don't do Gaussmon. No, it's not. Gaussmon, no. So, like, we could, because I think that's one of the only colors that Agumon has not invaded yet.
Right? There's a Snow Agumon.
No, that doesn't count. Just Agumon. Yes.
Yeah. It'll be cool whenever we see like different colors for cards that have been normally one color.
Does purple have an Agumon? Because I know they have the fake Professor Agumon.
Yeah, they have the fake Agumon Expert, but I think that's the closest thing they have to an Agumon.
Yeah, that might be
purple and blue. Literally the Garu colors.
Yeah.
Don't have a pure Agumon.
Literally, because we have an Agumon in green, red, obviously, black,
yellow, obviously.
Yellow. Yeah, we just don't have a pure Agumon in blue or purple.
Well, I guess if you're counting white, we don't have a white one either, but who counts white?
Yeah, I don't count it.
Yeah. It only counts if it's like a archetype specific deck like D Reaper or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see it. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
think it'd
if
be
you were gonna make it, it would have to be like it would have to probably fall in with what black does. So I think this one would have to probably be like trash security, kind of like the original card does.
If they
like a more souped up version of it.
Yeah, like if they fleshed out that effect into like an archetype, I think that'd be really good. Because it's removal or trashing security, which obviously both of those you're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good archetype.
Plus, it just naturally has reboot, doesn't it? That's pretty good.
It does, yeah. It naturally has reboot.
So you can give it jamming through some other inheritables. That's nice.
Yeah. I remember Taryn built a deck with that card in it, and he had jamming when he swung at me. It was very annoying.
Ah, oof.
It was BT5, though. I was playing Lord Nightmon, so I just...
Oh yeah, okay.
Started,
Spiral.
Yeah, started Spiral
There you go.
masquerading.
I'm good. Gucci.
But yeah, I mean, if you're referring to like the purple Melga, purple black Melga, like the promo one that also Digiburst.
Yes.
They both Digiburst. That plays the option. I think they need to cool off on the purple stuff for a while. I think people are getting a little too upset about the purple stuff.
I mean, Bandai's also getting upset.
Yeah, they keep banning all our cards. Crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not. Maybe we hold off on that. If
Black.
we do, I want it to be a black and a black Wargreymon, black Metal Garurumon, like Zwart deck, kind of like we got with Alter S.
Alter S.
Yeah, make it black purple and it DNAs into Zwart. The top end is Zwart Defeat. Give us new versions of both of those cards. I dig that.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I think they'd have to make it to where they couldn't support their own archetype though, so you couldn't like splash them into other stuff because I think that's what would end up happening.
Yeah, you would have to make sure it's hyper focused. Like, hey, this is used for this deck. Like, look at the EX4 Alter S deck. Like that, honestly, it's that deck. Like, you can't really splash it in other stuff. You could, but it wouldn't be that good.
Yeah, you could sprinkle some of the Greymon stuff in black base Greymon Tribal, but it's not. It's like mediocre.
Y'all want a little fun trip? All right, go watch Sean's old video of the EX4 set review and take a shot every time my man mentions Greymon Tribal. Every time a card is like Agumon, Greymon, he goes, "This card's okay for Greymon Tribal."
That's what I'm thinking. When I'm looking at a set, that's what I'm thinking about.
It's just Greymon
Does
Tribal.
this support the archetype that I've played for the past like a year and a half of formats?
Yeah. Yeah, no, make it its own thing.
Second question. Planty_boy.
Love that.
What would we define as color identity? Is blocker even so part of black's identity if every color gets it? Should jamming be a blue exclusive keyword? What colors have better defined identities?
Okay, so let's start first with just the colors. So first things first, red is the easiest to identify. It is the hyper aggro deck.
Yes, it's extra security checks, extra DP, deletion, which all decks get access to it, but red is typically
like DP based.
Yeah, typically
deletion.
DP based deletion if it's not just like Gaia Force specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
So blue is a little more ill-defined because they've been adding stuff to it. So blue is a very stun, aggro, like control-y type color. Blue is very fluid in how it plays. It really depends
access
on
to so much stuff.
Yeah, it's very like I said, fluid. It can do a lot of things. Like you have decks like blue hybrid, but then you have the exact opposite of blue hybrid, which is Galgamon.
It gets so far away from so some of these colors have just changed so much from what they initially started as.
Yeah.
Like red has always been red. You know what you're getting when you pick up a red deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Jeswan is a red deck. Red hybrid is a red deck.
Blue used to be unsuspend and attack again.
Jamming.
Okay.
Yeah. Jamming
and
cards
swinging.
back instead of deleting it.
Source strip. That used to be blue. Blue used to be like, hey, I'm going to kind of control your board with Source Strip, but also when I attack, I'm going to unsuspend and I can get to attack again. That's why that Wergaru was so strong, because that's exactly what it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let you attack 5 times in a turn. It was great.
Blue is so much, and then blue also always had really good memory gain because it was like one of the only decks that had
Hammer
like really good cards like Hammer Spark.
Mm-hmm.
Soragio.
Yeah, so and blue's always had like dominant tamers. Like that's why Davis still gets played.
Yeah.
I think blue is probably the most stable color to just pick up and play.
Yeah. Because
you can kind of do anything with it. It's versatile.
And
then yellow's another. Oh, go ahead.
Blues also has removal of bouncing, but they also have removal of bot decking occasionally, which is very, very powerful removal.
Yeah, they just get they're straight. They've strayed so far because it used to be, if your opponent has no sources or fewer sources than one of your then you can bounce it. Now it's just bounce it.
Just bounce it. Get out of here. Bye.
Or just put it on the bottom of their deck.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say yellow is just like red, where it's like what you're getting with yellow most of the time. It's gonna be some kind of recovery. Like even Mostimon
DP reduction.
Yeah, DP reduction.
and DP reduction. Like even with Mostimon with all its crazy shenanigans, guess what it does? DP reduction, and then it recovers, and then it's gonna do crazy stuff. So
it does purple stuff too, but the yellow part is clear.
There too.
So it's like yellow
Yellow's
and red.
defined.
Yellow and red are very easy to define.
Mm-hmm.
Purple, I don't. Do we even need to get into purple? They're giving it alliance. Okay. They're giving it
the problem with purple.
Play stuff for free. Special summon the color.
Yeah, purple is slowly becoming Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, purple is the Yu-Gi-Oh color, legit.
It's just over there by himself. Just it's a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Yeah,
that's purple. It didn't start that way. Purple used to be about deleting unsuspended stuff. It used to be about punishing your opponent for going wide because you had stuff like Heat Viper, you had Piedmon, you had these other cards that were.
You could play stuff from trash, but it would never get its on play.
Yeah, you wouldn't get full value out of it.
And you weren't playing it for free. You were paying memory to do it.
And nowadays, it's just we're getting to the point where they're just releasing the restraints on it, and that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's a super aggro, super consistent color that just does what it wants. It's using its trash as
digs into its deck. Digs into their deck.
Yeah, yellow will use their security as their second hand. Purple uses its trash as its second hand.
Yeah, which with hardly any cards that interact with that, it's really hard to deal with. Especially since purple has some of the most kind of busted removal spells. We have the Chaos Degradation, which of course is also yellow, but then you have your clusters, your rivals, you have your even back in the day the Trump swords and stuff like that. They were all
Rivals
very good.
Is such an insane card.
What's that Beelzemon card? Where Deathslinger? It's a 4-cost. It's a 4-cost, and all you have to do is get a couple cards in trash. Yeah, I'm killing your level 6 now.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, or if I mill.
Remember back in the day when Gaia Force back in the day was an 8-cost. To delete one Digimon. Deathslinger's a 4-cost, and it requires a little bit, not much,
a little bit of
but a little bit of work to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perhaps the cost.
Then, purple also flirted with being a mill color. If anybody wanted to mill cards,
out
of your opponent's deck. But
I wish it would have stuck with that.
Yeah.
I wish it would have just stuck as a mill deck.
It's a deck. Cool. Have you not played against Millith Loop? That is a mill strategy.
Yeah. No, I mean, but just as its main thing instead of whatever it's become.
That'd be so degenerate if it was just that.
Yeah, Millith Loop is a solitaire deck, and it's a good deck. It's just not seeing play.
So purple is defined by just its obscene playstyle,
broken,
and that's what makes it its own category. Essentially,
purple is just a broken color now. It's off the rails.
Green isn't even a color anymore until they do something about Bloomlord. It is just Bloomlord.
Green is Bloomlord.
That is how green is defined right now. Green is defined as Bloomlord.
It's Digisorption, suspending your opponent's stuff.
It's the control color.
I want someone in the comments to be like, but Chris, we can play this as our green deck, and then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reply with, but guess what card does that better? Everything you're talking about, but does it better? Oh, Bloomlord.
Bloomlord.
Yeah. The reason I say they're the best at control is because they have 1-cost options like Samadhi Santi.
Oh yeah,
that card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have access to quartz.
Flower cannon, flower cannon out of security. Flower cannon out of security could still really screw up some people.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's the ultimate.
Suspend that whole board.
That was the original pro tag moment. If you ever checked a flower cannon in security,
even back in the day, Puppetmon. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, you don't unsuspend. Get wrecked.
Dude, imagine giving your opponent 10 memory, but they can't do anything on their turn because they can't unsuspend.
Because they can't unsuspend.
Yo.
Dude.
So, green flirts with being a control color, but doesn't go full tilt into it. But it also wants to be, an aggro swarm color.
They're
But
stunted
gave
by their
all of
own cards.
Yeah, but then they threw everything into Bloomlord and just decided everything else needs to waste and swaller. Like,
Yeah.
and
when was the last
HPD
time
and
Tentamon got any support?
HBD is still a broken card they need to get rid of.
Like, all the Tentomon fans are crying for support. Meanwhile, like, Rosemon's getting support for 3 sets.
because with Tentomon, what they want the insect line to do is have your opponent have a Digimon on the board so you can suspend it and then
Mistake
attack
number
into it.
one.
But
Yeah,
guess
it's
what?
literally just a weaker red deck.
Why do that? Why do all that and not only have to draw your cards, see your pieces, and do everything, and your opponent has to have a Digimon on the board that's weaker than your Digimon. When I could just play Bloomlord, which doesn't require any of that, it just requires me playing my own deck. Why would you play? Yeah, it's like there's green stunted by its own cards, and then black is just the child that they forget about and neglect.
They neglect.
Black is the neglected color where it's just like, hey, everything about this game, black just doesn't do.
Yeah, so black literally loses its identity because every other color is stealing its gimmick.
Yeah.
So and with green, of course, they're trying to give green more identity with Alliance.
From the get-go, like Black's main thing was, okay, blockers, and they were like,
I'm gonna have
colors level
blockers at every level. That was Black's thing at first.
Well, it was they were the best at blocking.
Were they?
But now they're not even close. That was their ideas. Black
They
is
literally
the best at blocking.
Literally gave red a level 5 delete a blocker that was deleting level 6s.
Yep.
And level 7s.
Yep.
And 7s.
Yep. Like I said, they tried. Craniumon, guys. God, come on. Craniumon exists.
It's a good play.
It's a good play. Yep.
Good play. I'm glad we've all capitalized on that. That was great.
Anytime I hear the word Craniumon, I immediately flash back to that.
That's all I think of.
Yeah. So, the problem with black as a whole is they're taking its best things and giving it to other colors, like trashing security. We now have cards in other colors that are trashing security. Like Reboot. Other decks are getting Reboot.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I wouldn't say that because those are all like effects where I think like a lot of decks should actually just have, like, not like blatant, like abusively have, but like I think it just starts with they gave Black's identity just from the get go was bad.
Yeah. 100%.
Just from the get go, like
instead of making that identity better, they mixed it with other colors trying to make it better, and it didn't work.
Like black needs a reason for players, like what we came up with a couple weeks ago. It needs to have a reason for your opponent to have to attack into your blocker.
Yeah,
there has to be a reason, and it's just like it just doesn't.
Yeah,
and then the one time they made black aggro, it was too aggro.
It was a tier 0 deck that would kill you by promoting level 4.
Go back button. Go back. Go back. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, sorry, we released Alphamon support for like 7 sets, but we finally broke it. Our bad.
It was the one deck. Well, outside of Machine Germon, but like Machine Germon's like multiple.
It wasn't really an
colors
archetype yet at that point. We just had like one Machine Germon card.
But like with Alphamon, they were like, okay, this is the least black deck because it is just a red deck.
It was literally a red deck.
Black, but with black.
That's a red deck in disguise.
Yeah, Alphamon was 100% a red strategy. It was like, I'm gonna have this unkillable boss monster that's swinging for multiple checks, multiple times, and I'm just gonna OTK you.
Yeah, I think Alter S is a step in the right direction where you make it almost like an unkillable boss monster that, like, if your opponent tries to out it, you get pluses off of it. I think that's another good direction for Black.
They gave it blocker and reboot. They gave it the 2 best keywords, and they were like, okay, not only that, but this boss monster, but the boss monster has to be super good too. So it's like, okay, perfect. That's how you do it. Yeah. But again, that's an Agumon and that's a Gabumon. That's an Omni-Man deck. That's an Omni-Man deck. Yep.
I do agree,
honestly,
though.
They made it black so it wouldn't be tier 1.
They made it black so you couldn't mix it with their other strategies.
Yup.
Like, imagine if it was red. If that deck was red, oh my god. I don't even think you play any
Guaranteed.
Gabumon stuff.
Guaranteed. The Greymon would 100% still have the memory gain, and then under it would say a security attack +1.
Just starter deck Greymon, just better.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so I mean, out of all the colors, I think black is... It's just like we were saying, the forgotten stepchild. They don't give it anything.
Always behind.
They still don't have a level 5 ace. I'm pretty sure. I could be
You're not
wrong.
gonna get one.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
It's just like their hybrids. That reminds me of, like, this was like 2 years ago when someone was like on Reddit and they were like, what are each color's identities? And it was like basically what we listed, except for like less elaborate, because at that point it was still pretty clear. They're like, blue is this, red is this, yellow is this, and they were like, blacks is losing. That's their identity.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, 100% facts back then. That was well before we got Alphamon at full power.
I mean, Sean, dude, you're such a good player. You went undefeated with a black deck yesterday. That's
what? That is true. Yeah, almost all of my cards were black.
I just remember there was a deck I really liked running. It was like the Zubagon deck, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you had to meet such requirements, and its level 6 was so bad because your opponent could literally just redirect your attack. Like, you could have this
humongous them into
setup.
blockers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Turn them into blockers.
Yes.
Like, it was like, okay, so I did all this. I activated the option card and everything. Like, it does all this stuff. And then your opponent just goes, yeah, but you're going to attack my level 3 instead.
So, do I have piercing?
No, you do not have piercing. So I actually think they did something cool with that. Is they created a new keyword called collision that we're getting like in the not too distant future.
Yes, collision is nice.
Where it basically forces your opponent to block if able. Which is similar to that, but also like assuming you can do it correctly. One, you could give that archetype piercing, which would be disgusting.
Degenerate, yeah.
But also if you give them like a low level removal, it would force your opponent to block with their big stuff, and they would just lose out on their stuff.
Hear me out, Sean. How much would you be eating? Absolutely eating if they gave like a Black War Greymon collision.
That'd be lit. I mean, I feel like at this point we don't really need collision for that archetype because we have Raid and also BT8 Metal Greymon and stuff.
Metal Grey.
What if you could have more?
I mean, I'll take more, you know. We could always use more support.
We can always just have more.
Yeah. But I think that's a... I mean, they're clearly trying stuff with black, but they need to try harder. They need to do what they did for purple. Like, make it to where we hate the color. Like, the color itself is broken. Like, they should just do that for black.
Throw black a bone and give them the first ever level 4 ace. Give them their 5.
What is that going to do?
It needs to have a good effect.
It would be a step in the right direction to apologizing.
No, it wouldn't.
Hey, nobody else has this yet. This is all you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They still, like, the hybrids they have access to are dog water, and they still don't have a level 5 hybrid, I'm pretty sure.
Nope. They don't. Not one that evos for 1 like the others do.
Nope.
Black gets no love.
None.
Nope. Yeah, so, I mean, the colors are... Oh, and then, of course, white. White is rogue. That's probably the best way to describe it.
White's generally boss monsters.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
the reason I say rogue...
A lot of level 7s.
Yeah, the reason I say rogue is because there are cards like D-Reaper, Digimon Emperor, Chimeramon. Like, it's sort of...
Yeah,
very splashable cards.
White is unique. That's just how I always thought. It was just unique.
X-Antibody.
Yeah.
All the Omnimons, except for, like, what, 1?
I think Alter B is the only one that's not white, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. No, isn't Zort defeat black?
He's white.
No, he's white. He's white. But yeah, I mean, white is, like, you know, boss monsters.
I think
but
the
also
original Alter S, isn't it red and black?
No, Evo is on top of red and black. It is white.
Yeah, he's white.
Huh.
Yeah, the first Omnimon that we got that wasn't pure white was Alter B, I'm pretty sure.
Was Alter B?
Yeah, but all the lower level stuff is like splashable cards. Like you have your win rates, you have stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Takumi or Takumi,
Which is
Nokia.
It's odd because some of them, like the white options, like it's usually the options for white are like things that are splashable.
Yeah,
but
you can kind of tell they fit in one.
Well, a lot of times they'll make them to where they don't have a color restriction. Like if X, you don't have a color restriction. So it's like
Most of the time, isn't it if you just have a tamer?
Yeah, usually it's if you have a tamer, ignore the color restriction or whatever. So like it's basically a card they built for every color, essentially.
Yeah.
Unless you're Analog Youth, in that case, you're a purple tamer.
Yeah, Analog Use 100% a purple card.
1,000,000%.
Everything but in name, or I guess in color.
In color. In all forms except physical, I am a wolf. That is Analog Youth.
Oof.
You guys don't recognize that meme?
Benton bars.
Yeah, he's probably quoting another movie from the 80s.
No, I'm quoting just Google that phrase. In all forms except physical, I am a wolf.
I don't think I want to. I know
I've heard it before, but I can't remember from where.
It's funny. It's like a 10-second clip. It's worth it.
Anyway. But I think color identity, for some colors, it's held steady throughout the entire card game, like red, like yellow. They have been very, very focused. And because they've been very focused, they've usually stayed pretty consistent and very good. Unless you're, the first set we got yellow 1.0. That was, feels bad.
Yeah.
But I think the complications come with multicoloring. Because if you look at Imperial, for example, Imperial is not a blue deck. It is not a green deck. It is its own thing. It's
Imperial German.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get standouts like that. Like look at Lord Nightmon. It was basically like a swarm deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it incorporated a piece of yellow, which was the DP reduction with the Nightmons. So it's like not every color or not every deck in a color will be perfectly like that color, but most of the time they will incorporate like an aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things where if you're looking at a deck like Lugamon, you can kind of ignore its color. It's just a super aggro deck. It plays almost like red, the way you like OTK.
Yeah,
but it's purple, so you have access to all the broken things in purple.
I didn't know red Digivolved for free, spat out a bunch of bodies, and then used Alliance, and then unsuspended.
I was going to
say
we took
and then played out Black Gatos. Yeah, and then took Black Gatos, and then attacked with the Rush for game, and then DNA Digivolved into Chimeramon. I didn't know red did that.
Yeah, no, we stole all the best things from green. We took their best keyword, we took their best strategy, and we just made it better.
I don't like that person at Bandai.
I don't think anybody does at this point. He's probably in the timeout chair right now.
Probably like, hey man, we just had to ban a super rare from a set and a secret rare from a different set because of you. Can you chill?
Go sit down.
Do you know how much this is going to hurt our sales in America?
Sit down.
Get in the corner.
Yeah.
No. All right. I'm going straight to bed. I'm not even going to clean up.
I'm so tired.
Just going to fall asleep on my laptop on the bed.
Honestly, I thought you fell asleep earlier.
You were definitely taking some little baby nap. You had your eyes closed.
Like, no, it just looks like it. Look, my eyes are open the whole time.
No, dude, listen.
It's the angle I'm seeing at my glasses.
My camera angle judge.
No, your eyes never look like they're open.
Yeah,
you look like you were you look like this is what you look like.
Little snoozies.
I'm focused in, man. I'm on my train track.
Yeah.
Like Caleb tracks.
All right, guys.
All right. See you guys.
Deuces.
Later.